Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to Tarnation TV's broadcast. Tonight we start the 2025 season here at Maverick, the Maverick Cup Series at the High Voltage Racing League. My name is Blaine Donlin, and my illustrious co-host, Rod Weston. How you doing, buddy? This should be exciting. They've hired us to do the entire season here on Tuesday nights at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The broadcast will go live every Tuesday. As long as we're racing, we'll be here talking to you. So, yeah, man. This is, you've never been with me broadcasting a Maverick race before.
No. Yeah, I think you guys done a couple of them here. This is all new to me, so it's going to be a few different new drivers that we might butcher their name a little bit. We've been practicing and trying to get them right. And then, of course, there's a few old favorites that are, that we had from some of the other leagues that we broadcasted at and other leagues that I've raced with. Some of these guys out there have raced with them, so that's, it's pretty cool. Should be interesting. 24 races I think we have? That's going to be a long time.
There's a lot of really cool paint schemes out here, too, and a lot of new names we're going to have to learn, so bear with us as we learn. For the first couple of races are going to be probably a little touchy when it comes to recognizing paint schemes, recognizing numbers and drivers' names and all that good stuff, but as the season goes on, we'll have, obviously, more familiarity with everybody, so...
We got some of our old favorites out there. Garland Oaks is out there, Denny Carroll, Alex Moe, Mike Mangialardi, there's a few others. Oh, U-Man. Can't forget our man U-Man. Ulysses Sandoval. But Josh Mercurial, there's a few other drivers out there that we have run with. What's kind of neat, too, though, the international crowd. There's 32 people from the United States, 2 from Argentina, 1 from Canada, 1 from Chile, 1 from Colombia, 1 from Peru, 1 from Spain, and 1 from Venezuela. Can you imagine?
No way.
There's that many drivers out here today from different countries. That's pretty cool.
It's very cool, and especially because here at Maverick, too, we race a different track every single week. We've got a full schedule ahead of us for the 2025 season. Lots of different countries. I think Ben said the record number of countries represented was 6, and this year he's beaten it by 1. So we've got 7 different countries, I think it was that you just said, represented in that, which is super, super cool. And of course, tonight's a full field. We got stacked right to the rafters, 40 drivers. You're seeing their renders are on screen right now. So these are the cars that have made the race tonight. Last week, they had to hold a couple of qualifying sessions to find the 40 drivers that could start here tonight. 71 drivers showed up that wanted to be in this race. So Ben had to do qualifying races and qualifying sessions to make sure that only the best of the best can make this thing.
Yeah, and a little bit different format from last year. I do know that from what people I talked with last year, they did actually the top 35 in points from the previous year automatically made the race, and then they just would find 5 more drivers to fill up the field before and left room for us the 2 broadcasters. This year, everybody had to qualify into the race. There were some provisionals for the admins that if they didn't make the race, that they could get in. You have to have admins to run the race. So there's a few of them out there that had come in on admin privileges. But yay, why not? Going to be full field.
Yep, full field, of course, a couple spots for us. And yeah, the admins, I remember, they control the caution flags because they run a custom executable for the game on the server side that they can control a little bit more control over yellows.
Yeah, so in the broadcast, you may see a single car spin, and that will not bring out a caution. It's a little different way of doing it. I've raced with other leagues that do that. And then they can control when they go back. So if a caution should come out, they will go around and they get 1 lap around. After the start, the first time they come by, everybody's allowed to pit. And then when they come back out, the pace car will get down to a certain spot. And at that point, we're going green. If they get a lap down car, at least 1, they'll get 2 laps to go around. And it stays like that consistently through the whole race, which is very important, especially if you're trying to do some sort of strategy. You need to know if they're going to do 1 lap, 2 laps, or 3.
Right, yeah. And sometimes when the game controls the cautions, depending when it comes out, if only half the field's across the line, there's lap cars. Sometimes you can get into like a 3, 4, 5 lap yellow stint where these guys will have way over tighter control over that, which will be, it should keep the race moving. There won't be so much downtime.
Most of your bigger tracks, it doesn't really work that way. Like what I said, they do at Sometimes you get caught just in the wrong spot and you will get one. But when you get to tracks like Martinsville, oh, so much better. They do like 5-6 laps under caution at Martinsville. So much easier to do that. Just a 1, 2, done, go.
Right. Yeah, and if everybody's on the same page, we're doing double file restarts here tonight, right? I remember.
That is correct.
Yeah. Is there a limit on that? Some leagues will have limits on that. I can't get my rule book up. My tablet is being a pain. Looks like we're headed into qualifying right now.
Okay, buddy, fired up here. Remember, one switch at a time, turning your stuff
You
on.
have that information. You just got to give me a minute to do a little looking.
Cool. Yeah, the qualifying session's beginning now. The drivers who qualified for the race, they now all get to qualify together to find out, of course, our starting grid. How that's going to all play out.
While they're qualifying too, we must mention that there is a purse for this race. The top 3 drivers will get paid out. The top driver who finishes first will get $100, plus they'll get a trophy. The second place driver will get $30, and the third place driver will get $20. So, you can see why they'd get more people to come here. When it's a money race, you really get a lot of people that come out of the woodwork for the money races.
Well, and yeah, we, there's a lot of big sponsors here at the Maverick Cup Series too. Like we have our Grand Marshal tonight, which we'll see him tell everybody to start their engines when we are headed out onto the parade lap. It's Brian McKinney from the Maverick Board Riding Company. Big sponsor behind this thing because, of course, the whole series is named after this guy, the Maverick Cup Series. So, there's money around. They can definitely put up a winning pot for the winner, and it's not too shabby with $100+ there to take the win here, and with a full field and 500 kilometers, it's going to be well earned. I think that's a long race.
Through the notes, I don't know if I actually have that information on whether or not they do change that. Well, we can find that out probably a little later on, whether or not they do the double file restarts or after so many cautions, because a lot of leagues do that. Double file restarts can have a tendency to bring out a few more cautions. So a lot of leagues will, when we get to a certain amount, we're going to just start doing a single file. It makes it a little better for the starts. Everybody gets it rolling, and then they can kind of go out and go racing.
Yeah, single file. I mean, on a super speedway, I don't know how big of a deal tires spin will be. Sometimes that's an issue, which is why they do it. Smaller tracks will end up spinning the tires. You're starting in the wrong gear or something like that. But
in talking with some of the drivers, just more of a curiosity thing for myself, was just to see, what this track was like.
Oh, you mean like this version of Daytona?
Right.
Right.
We've done many, many different leagues where they've done different versions of Talladega, and we've had some, or Talladega or Daytona, and we've had some where they can get 3 wide at Talladega and run lap after lap after lap. Anybody that's watched any of our past broadcasts, you can see how we get amazed sometimes at just how they do that. The way I was told on this track is that it's just probably a little bit more gripped up. Now, some people get out there and they like to tweak the grip on them, makes it so that the cars stick a little better. You don't have as much of a tendency to get loose. So in theory, it should make less accidents. But
does the higher gripped up tracks, does that lead to higher tire wear? Or is that a thing?
At some of them, yes. The normal where I don't particularly care for some of the leagues that I've run with that have done that is the fact that you're not going to do that here. But I ran a race at Nazareth, which is it's a tricky little oval. And there is one corner on that track that's a little bit tighter than the rest of them. And when you come off that corner, your left front tire wasn't even touching the track. That's a little too much, too gripped up.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, that too much grip on them is not necessarily a good thing. But it usually does promote a little bit more tire wear. But mind you, they're only on 1X. So they're really, where we've seen in the past, where it's kind of been, the tire wear is going down quicker because it's a 2X or a 3X. They're running this at 1X. So they're going to get about 50 miles. Sorry, I got to do it 50 laps on a set of tires and fuel. And I'm not really sure how the tire wear is going to be here. I talked with some people, but they were a little tight-lipped at telling me about what their strategy was and what the track does. So it's all good.
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. They don't want to let the secrets out, and then especially because some of these guys will listen to the broadcast too, live while they're racing. So it's like if we give the secrets out, it's not fair. So yeah, to find the proper line, and then that pitch strategy too. How far will your fuel take you? Can you burn the full tank where your tires fall off? There's a lot of things that can happen, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Full server today, of course. 40 drivers here at Daytona. So thanks everybody again for watching Tarnation TV's broadcast of this. You can join us next Tuesday, of course. We'll be here again. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be Las Vegas.
Yeah. That's a fun track.
Yeah. And
next week, version they have.
Yeah, next week is Las Vegas, and that race is in honor of Ben's late aunt, Robin. So that'll be
pretty cool.
That'll be cool. It's celebrating her. So yeah, definitely tune in next week, same time, same YouTube channel, and we'll be here calling that one from Vegas. I want to say it's Vegas 2014. I think it's the one. I'm trying to remember, does it have yellow walls? I don't think so.
I don't remember if 14 doesn't know.
Yeah, what was the one that had the yellow walls? I can't remember. But either way, we'll be at Vegas.
Benjamin Snyder.
In the house, live on the air. Benjamin, you there, bud?
Yes, I'm here. We're ready for intros.
All right, let's do it from the bottom to the top.
We'll bring him down.
You and I both need to be in the main room. Good evening, everybody. Tarnation TV live on the air. I guess we're going to start from the last position and work our way up to the top. So let it rip, Josh Mercurio.
Hi, it's Josh Mercurio, driver of the 86, the pink Education First Cadillac. Doing it great from the back tonight. Hopefully I'll see you up on TV later on tonight. Good luck, everybody.
Starting 39th is Austin LaPlante driving the number 92 Dasani Lexus. Starting 38th is the number 052 Melling Dodge of Victor Delgado III.
Well, he's starting in 39. From Peru, the 84 of Cody Lamas.
Todd. Starting 36th in the number 11 FedEx Toyota, Todd Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. Todd Wilson here, driver of the number 11 Toyota Camry. Hoping to go from 0 to hero tonight, starting out back, but good luck, everyone.
Alright, in 37th place, the most annoying guy in the field, RJ Bischoff, who actually is Bobby Farrell. Good luck, everybody. He sounds like it.
Starting in 36, driving the 29, Mike Mangialardi out of Federal Way, Washington. Give a shout out to the radio room watching tonight. And good luck, everybody.
Starting 35th, driving the number 39 High Rock Vodka Chevrolet SS. It is Alex Mullen making my first start here at Maverick at the fabulous Fun Coast 500, looking to bring home a nice finish tonight. Hope you folks out there enjoy the race, and raise hell, praise Dale.
Starting 34th, Joseph Lanny Pavlon, driving the number 68 Florida Atlantic University Lexus for Solomon JLP Racing, Boca Raton, Florida.
Starting, I don't think I'm actually starting 33rd, but I'm just going to roll with that. The number 15 of Kez Hiller driving the Freeway Insurance Ford Mustang.
Starting 32nd, driving the 738 Interstate Batteries Toyota, Matt McIntyre from Newburgh, Indiana, Free Chest.
Starting 30th in the 61 Ryan Newman 2008 Daytona 500 winner throwback scheme, Anthony McCurry.
Starting on the 29th spot, this is Christian Torres from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and the Orioles Chevrolet. So good luck, everybody. Oy, partner.
Chad Heyer, driver of the 007 for the Days of Thunder City Chevrolet out of Nebraska.
Number 60, Dorsey, driving the Valvoline Ford for Dorsey Motorsports out of Nebraska.
Nicholas Gunther, driving a number 55, defending champ of the 2024 Maverick Cup Series. We're not sure about the full-time plans for 2025, and we are driving the Rima Toyota tonight. Free Jessica Sheldon.
Starting 24th in the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet, Jack Merkel.
Oscar.
Starting 23rd in the number 5 Vodafone Chevrolet, Oscar Ramos Jr.
I'm Oscar, number 5 Chevys, and I'm one Money.
A huevo.
Starting 22nd, number 93 of Fortnite Squad Racing, the Bass Pro Shops Jim McMurray throwback Chevrolet, Seth Cole. Looking forward to working with all teammates here tonight. Hoping for a good race. Shout out to Dylan Young, who unfortunately a team of ours didn't qualify in the LCQ, and shout out to our teammate Jessica Shelton that we've run this race with the last couple of seasons. Wish she was in the field with us here tonight.
Starting 21st, Big Stone Gap, Virginia. Good luck, fellas.
Starting 20th, Benjamin Snyder from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, driving the number 7 Maverick Board Riding Company Kia. Shout out to everybody in the Live Reality Games community. Shout out to Survivor Florida especially, who just did their spring break season. Shout out to everybody at Park City Mountain, and shout out to all my family that's watching.
Starting 19th, 109, Frank Gomez from Ourense, Spain. I got to shout out some friends that are partying in a house near to mine watching the race, so actually I'm going to say in Spanish. Hijos de puta, panda de borrachos, alcohólicos.
Hey!
Gritad mucho.
Starting the 18th spot, number 27, Mark Snyder from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, driving for Benjamin Snyder Racing.
Starting 17th, Alex Moe, Southern California, 48 Lowe's Chevrolet.
Starting 16th, Garland Oaks, number 67, Autism Awareness Toyota Camry from Martinsville, Virginia.
Starting 15th in the 042 Miller Hendrick Cars Chevrolet is Guillermo Sanchez from Argentina.
The Lagman.
Starting 14th, number 51, Jackson Brown in the WeatherTech Chevrolet SS from Ontario, Canada. Good race, everyone.
Starting 13th, number 21 from Huntsville, Alabama, Randy Wall. Ouija. Shout out to my sons Christian and Corey, grandsons Adrian, Asa, and Asher. Let's go racing, Corey.
Starting 12th in the number 32 car is Zachary Hall from Decatur, Texas, running the Chick-fil-A Lexus with Solomon JLP Racing. Shout out friends, family, and DK and Ray.
Starting just outside the top 10, Greg Palmer driving the 022 Chevy SS Hooters Special, painted by Rodney Sullins. Good luck, guys. Let's do this. Let's be careful. Don't wreck them.
Starting 10th in the number 000 Burger King Chevrolet is Alfio Panicia from Venezuela.
Starting in 9th, Ulises Sandoval, driver of the 96 San Luiseña Express Toyota Camry, A big shout out to all my Latino friends, all my NCR friends. Actually, to everybody. Everybody is my friends. For those who made it to the race and those who didn't make it. Free Jace.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your paws together. Number 82, Purina Hondas, Keith Hughes.
Don the Pride, driver of the number 74 Salvenco Chevrolet out of Roanoke, Virginia. Shout out to everybody from the EA Farm and anybody but Duke.
Starting 6th, driver of the number 22. My name is Michael Norman, and finished second last year. Looking to finish first this year. Hashtag free Jess.
Luigi. Started in first, the 69 of Adam Cole, baby.
Here for place, Santiago Gutierrez from Lima, Perú. La fe lo manda la vida. Y allá los incrédulos.
Nate Balser, driving the 79 Ace Chevrolet out of Seattle, Washington. Thanks for my family for watching, and good luck, everybody.
I am Bianco Medina, driver of the 003 Chevrolet Camaro. I am from Chile. And this is my second race.
The cheater.
Huevo.
And your pole sitter for tonight, 77 of Reisenbaker and the Chevy SS for Merritt Speedway. Thanks to my family and friends that are coming out here and watching and supporting me, and let's have a good race.
Awesome, man. 40 people in this thing. You guys had to go through all that qualifying last week. 71 people showed up to be in this thing. So congratulations to everybody. And of course, congratulations to Ryzen on your pole. We're not going to waste any more time. Let's go racing. Ben, you got anything to say?
All I just got to say is it's Maverick Night in America, baby.
I love you, Blaine.
Enjoy the show, Blaine.
I love you, Blaine.
Oh, what a group! What a group!
You gotta have Palma out there.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a good group of guys. They just seem to me. Some of them have so much fun doing this. I remember when we did those mega marathon races and stuff. That guys are just letting it go and having a lot of fun with it. And some of these guys were. Some were a little gun shy, but it's good.
Yeah.
Glad they did that too, because now I got some of the names that I couldn't pronounce before, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly. You just saw on the screen there, lap number 3, we will be silent for, in honor of Daryl Earnhardt Sr., of course. And we'll do that on lap 3. We'll shut the mics off and watch the third lap in its 2.5 mile entirety. Almost messed that up. 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles.
36 drivers that did not make the field.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole race in itself. That's wild.
And I went down through some of that list. Dennis McCarthy's I raced with him over at RTG. See here, drivers like Javier Negron. We've raced with him and whatnot. Pat McCarsky. And
There's
I'm just mentioning people. These are just people that I've raced with. There's a lot of people in there that I don't know, and probably some of good drivers. One of them I'm seeing is the son of an ARCA team owner. So
there's some legit race team names in this league, and a few of them didn't even make the race. That's how much talent we got here tonight. So
the qualifying, they didn't do a qualifying race. They did an actual qualifying. I'm telling you right now, I can race with some of the best of them, but I cannot qualify at a super speedway, and I don't have that kind of talent.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sometimes they'll do like dual style races where you make the field that way, but they actually did individual qualifying laps.
Just went out and did a qualifying session, and you had to make it in on speed.
Imagine that. I wonder if we have the times, because they would all be very, very close. Like you literally would not make this race probably by what? Probably 10 thousandths of a second. Like it would literally be that close.
It depends too. So like I'm usually about. They've got drivers that race these super speedways all the time. We've done broadcasts for these leagues that just Friday through Sunday. That's all they do is Talladega. It's the same track, and these guys get a lot of practice and they get really good at it. And I go out there and I'm a half second off, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then you start talking with some of them, and they're like, all right, well, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. Now, some of these new wheels that they have out nowadays, they have so many adjustments to them that they're absolutely can help you in qualifying.
Right.
And now, mind you, I'm running an old TSW, so I don't have force feedback. I don't have my adjustment of how much pedal I get or how heavy that spring is. Or any of that is all done by my hands, And so it's in I don't remember what your wheel is, but you don't have all them adjustments that they have with some of these new Fanatec's, the Mosleys. They're some of the Trustmasters. The list goes on and on of some of these wheels out there that are really, really great. And by running those wheels, some people can get an advantage with it.
Yeah, and the settings in the game too. It's very advanced settings in here. This thing's 20 years old, but there's all kinds of dampening and linearity settings you can have.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
It is, and it is different. Unfortunately, it's the age we live in where these wheels are not necessarily made for this game. They're more made for the iRacing. There's a lot of games out there newer games that these wheels are basically designed for, but the people that race them over here have figured out. If I do this, I do that, I can do this, and I can make it better. And they're down to taking. It sounds funny. It's not a spring. It's like a sponge that they put in underneath their brake pedal. And if they put this little sponge in here, it's heavier. And it sounds funny, I know, but having a little bit more of a feel on the brake pedal makes it more realistic, and it makes it better for some people.
Yeah, it does. These guys right now ready to head out on the parade lap. Let's head it over to our Grand Marshal for this evening, Mr. Brian McKinney, owner of the Maverick Board Riding Company, with the call.
Drivers, start your engines!
Nice quick video there from Sir Brian. So thank you very much, Mr. McKinney. Drivers, start your engines. He was nice enough to send that over to us. So very, very, very cool on that one as these guys roll out. We take a look at some of these paint schemes. There's not enough time to go through all these cars.
Oh, no.
But
the thing of it is, too, though, and if you watch super speedway racing at all, sometimes the manufacturers get in there and they, wow, we got more Chevys or we got more of these, and we'll stick together. Well, they do. They have 18 Chevys, 7 Toyotas, 5 Fords, 3 Dodges, 3 Lexuses, which is kind of different, 2 Kias,
that's cool.
Cadillac, and a Honda. So, if they're going to do any manufacturer stuff, the Chevys have pretty much got it covered.
Yep.
But we do have some talented drivers out there in some of the Toyota teams. Some of the guys from Wrecking Ball, which is another league that we run with, they seem to always run really good at super speedways. Greg Palmer's out there. I just don't know who he has here, that he knows well enough to draft with, because we've seen him with 4 other guys get together and just kind of dominate races. Danny Carroll, we've seen him here in Big Stone Gap Racing. The old, I gotta think of the last names of them now because there's so many.
The Levels.
Levels, that's it. The Levels, all get together, and once they got together and they got up front, they run people.
Getting a good look there at Ryzen Baker, our pole sitter for this evening. The pace car is off, and we are going green here. The 2025 season of the Maverick Cup Series is underway. In the chat there, L. Snyder. I don't know the first name, Miss or Mrs. L. The purse for this race is being sponsored by the High Voltage Media Productions.
Good, clean start. The high side didn't really get a good go. But I
Car
think
on the pits.
We'll see. Still kind of side by side. There's a lot of 2 wide, 3 wide. One guy's, a couple of drivers are just doing what I would do. They got a good, decent qualifying position, but they're just going to go to the back and stay out of the trouble.
Yep, they're fanning out in the middle of the pack there. It looks like they're just trying to let these things warm up a bit.
Like I said, I think you'll find, like, you and I always have this argument every time. Not really an argument, but a discussion about where would you rather be? You'd rather be up front. I'd rather be just at the end of the tail end of the first draft. I just think it's a safer way to play. Sometimes with this super speedway racing, I know it sounds funny when I say it, but I can't hold my breath that long side by side racing.
No. Yeah, we are on lap 2 right now, so we will do a lap of silence at the beginning of lap number 3 in its entirety. Yeah, it's off to a good start so far. The middle of the field there is broken off a little bit. Looks like they're still jostling for position back there.
Kind of got two different groups going on. I think you got the groups of guys that kind of just backed off a little bit, figuring that we may have a caution, and they're just going to try to stay away from hopefully to stay away from the big pack. If the front guy should happen to wreck. Now we're going to get ready to do that lap of silence. Kind of fitting to have a lap of silence for probably one of the best super speedway racers out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was watching that race. And I remember my mom woke me up the next morning and told me what happened, and I was like, how? Like, I've seen Dale Earnhardt roll the car 9 times, and if it starts, he'll drive it back to the pits. It doesn't make any sense because it wasn't it didn't look like a catastrophic wreck.
No, I remember watching the race, watching it happen. I'm a Dale Senior fan myself.
Yep.
And absolutely, I would go to a buddy of mine's house, watch the race. I didn't have good TV where I lived. I lived kind of out in the boonies. Got home, and geez, by the time I got home, which wasn't that far away, I got the phone call, and he says, "Hey, Dale passed." I'm like, "What? No, come on." No.
Yeah.
It was lost one of the greatest, like I said, super speedways and racers. I mean, an aggressive racer. I love watching some of the stuff sometimes when you talk about Jeff Gordon and how he used to mess with him, but he had the utmost respect for him. They actually had a, believe it or not, you probably didn't know this, but they shared information between Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. to make their cars faster.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that, yeah.
You wouldn't
That's
know
cool.
it by the way he treated him on the track sometimes.
Oh, no.
They did. They literally had a great relationship.
Wow. And Nate Balser got a lap led there, and so did Dunn LaPrade in the 74.
I'm kind of glad to see that the high groove was actually just pulling ahead a little bit. We was questioned whether or not that would come into play. But basically, I always talk about at these super speedway races, the energy is a little bit stronger on the high groove right now. The lead car on the bottom, and I do apologize, these cars are all new to me. The 003?
003,
yes, sorry.
Yeah, of Bianco Medina.
We'll get it. Give us time. I will get it. It's just, like I said, this is all new to me. He is basically got almost like a too good of a run, got away, and that allowed the guys that are formed up really, really good on that high side. You get Denny Carroll up there. I know Randy Waugh and Craig Palmer are 3 of the drivers that are up there that I'm familiar with that are really good super speedway racers. So they're all kind of tucked in, and they're tucked in really, really good. Can't forget Growlin' Oaks, who's just kind of sitting back there with the Autism Awareness Toyota. I like that car. I compliment on that. That's a nice looking car.
Yeah, where's Garland? I guess we could just click on his name.
He's it was kind of the last car on that little train of cars. Just like I said, he's on the high side there, and that outside groove has got just a little bit more better of a run. They're, like I said, they're formed up a little better. Some of the guys from the bottom are actually worked their way up to that top side groove because they can see the momentum. I mean, that's what this game's all about. You really, especially if you're out front, you got to look back. You got to find where that momentum's coming and use that momentum to keep you going.
Currently focused on the 55. Oh, the 7 just went out. That's down off the racing line. We're looking at the second pack here. With Nick Gunther leading that second pack in 18th position. And load up the replay here and see what happened to the 7. Just got scooted out of line there of Chad Hayer. Hayer, oh, see, there's another name. I'm going to mess it up.
Oh, we're all going to do that for a little bit.
I want to say Hayer.
Something happened back here in that second groove. I went back to. Got our buddy Seth Cole. We'll be doing some broadcasting with him here in April pretty soon. Looking
looks
forward
like
to
it's
the
just
ALS race, isn't it?
A little bit too tight, and then just right down in through the infield there.
We have our first caution at lap 9 tonight. As I was saying, though, Seth Cole, consummate professional, great broadcaster. Love working with him, and we're going to put you kind of in the booth, but out of the booth, and get you working on some other stuff. And me and Seth are going to run the show, and I look forward to that. Love working with him, like I said, consummate professional, and the way he does a broadcast is just phenomenal.
He's a sponge for just statistics. That guy has so much knowledge when it comes to individual drivers. It's actually mind-boggling. It hurts my brain.
Yeah, he's just so good at what he does.
Just trying to find the moment of caution here. And I see some smoke.
It was a purple car that I saw a turn.
Yeah, so it looks like that'll be Ben. Ben drives purple car. We're about 3 wide here. Just ran out of room on that bottom. Collected a couple guys. Nothing too crazy. RJ Bishop back there. Everybody had a lot of room.
It'd be interesting to see, first off, if they pit. It kind of a split decision on that first group. The leader, the Pratt, sorry, I'm going to get used to this. It's the 74. Elected to go down pit road with the 77.
The majority of the field actually went down the pits, but like you're saying, it's a 50-lap window on pitting, so staying out is not a bad idea.
But there again, as we've talked about before, if you've got the you got 9 laps in, we're about 10 now. So you come in, you take fuel, you get 10 more laps of fuel, and it's the drafting track. You could possibly put yourself. We're quite a ways to go. We still got about close to 105 laps to go, but you could put yourself possibly, if this thing goes green, like right now, closer to a different pit window. So you got to think ahead of that too.
Yeah, you can put a lot of space between you and a bigger pack, especially with being able to run longer. You're right. Like they could really. The strategy is so different. The strategy changes so much depending on the pit frequency. Being 1x and being able to go 45 to 50 laps before needing to pit, as compared to a 2x where you're down around the 20 to 24, and 3x, of course, shorter and shorter. 1x is kind of cool. I haven't. We don't call too many races that are set at 1x.
I guess I think the only complaint I would have probably would be where the 2x and the 3x possibly comes more into play, is you get more green flag pit stops possibly. That can spread up a field too,
Yeah.
I've always loved to see somebody. We actually, I was in a league once where we did this, a actual 100% like race.
Wow.
250 laps around Daytona, and I made the. I didn't qualify to get into it because remember I'm not a super speedway racer, but I did qualify in because of the admin privilege, because at that time I was an admin in that league, and I didn't make it very long. Back then, I know a lot more about super speedway racing now, especially from not only running with leagues that run it all the time, and getting help from it, but also doing these broadcasts. You learn a lot more just sitting back and watching sometimes.
Yeah, you know, it's weird. I don't know what I enjoy more. I don't know if I enjoy broadcasting more or driving more. I mean, driving's great, but this is a whole different, it's technically like a whole different game. Sitting up here calling it, tracking all the stats, keeping the notepads and pens rocking all day long, you know, keeping track of all this stuff.
I can tell you exactly where I want to be on a super speedway, so that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
You like super speedways more than I do, so.
I just love this game.
Yeah. We got a little bit different drivers up front now. 81.
I'm just slowly going through the field here, looking at all the cars. The 6 back there was a replacement. Let's see.
Yeah, that's Bobby Farrell is actually driving in one of the cars tonight, replacing somebody that couldn't make it.
Tate Dorsey in the 6 is actually replacing. Can't remember who it was now.
Santi Gutierrez. Gutierrez, thank you. He's our current leader. And Denny Carroll, we're very familiar with Denny Carroll. I've raced with him many a time. He's outside on the front row.
Yeah, so the driver that could not make it is the 03 of Herbert Solomon. And so the number 6 Tate Dorsey has taken his position in the race to make sure we got a full field tonight.
And we're going back green. 81 got a pretty good start. Denny Carroll just jumped right down behind him. It could have been something that Denny kind of planned, as long as nobody in the bottom got a good run. And the 81 just jumps right to the high side, which tells me that this might be a high side track.
Especially right off the hop like that.
Yep. Randy Waugh down there on the bottom trying to get a run going. We got 2 Dodgers.
Somebody down below there. Yeah. Down below the yellow line back there. I saw the Monster Energy car dip below, but probably just giving some room.
We do know that the yellow line does come in effect. Anybody that's familiar with super speedways, you are not allowed to advance your position by going down below the yellow line.
And it's weird. It's a super speedway, and that's that super stretch on the back. It's a long one, but it runs out pretty quick when you're down there. You don't want to be in there going to the corner, into the turn. You do not want to be below that yellow line. So making something happen down there is pretty rare. Unless it's, of course, if you're avoiding a slow car, it's completely different. You got to do the right thing to avoid an accident. But if you go down there and push somebody out of the way, you're probably going to get talked to on that one.
That bottom line has got a lot of energy right now. That 81 and Denny Carroll jumped down there. But I do know that Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh will work together. They started working together when we started doing the mega marathons, and were the ones where that you could pick your team. And of course, Denny Carroll and I were always on that team, and we went through a few different drivers. And Randy Waugh, basically, we didn't pick him. He gave him to us one night, and I was amazed at his willingness to be a great team player. It worked out really, really good, and him and Denny ever since then have always seemed to be working together.
Yeah, those guys are hard to beat when they find each other out here. We were locked down to the 81 there. Sandy Gutierrez leading the race. Of course, that last lap or two there is actually being led by Denny Carroll in the 41. A couple of pretty good lead changes up here so far today. We've had, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different leaders. Denny Carroll, Sandy Gutierrez, Nate Balser, Don LaPrade, and Ryzen Baker have all led a few laps each. One retired car so far, and Mike Mangialardi in the 29 has stepped out.
It is moderate damage, so that in the case of an incident, you're going to get some damage. But, not as bad if it was, realistic damage. You nose it into the wall 9 times out of 10, you're going to be done. At least with the moderate damage, you might be able to fix it up, go out there, salvage yourself some points. And sometimes it may not hurt it so bad that you may still be able to run up near the front.
The 37th spot, there's Keith Hughes, who's at the back of checking out the back. These guys are just kind of sitting back here watching, single file.
The smart people, as I say.
Yeah.
The ones that staying out of that hornet's nest. That's like I said, I've always kind of liked to be back there, and because I just can't hold my breath that long. It's amazing how these guys run side by side, and it's you just don't know the game of chess. Like I said, you're playing a game of chess with 20 people or more, lap after lap after lap, and you get so mentally tired after these races.
Yeah, we saw that Monster Energy car they were focused on how the 199 of Fran Gomez ducked down below that line. Curious if, maybe it's just a choice to go to the back. Some drivers just get tired of just being in that, like you said, that hornet's nest, and they want to drop down. Slide to the back. It's a long race. There's Mark Schneider. Snyder? Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, we're gonna butcher a few.
Yeah. I do believe that is Ben's father in the 27.
Yes, it is. That much we do know.
We do know something. Victor Delgado the third in the 052 there. Running next to Cody Lamas.
On the back of all that first pack on the bottom side, we got Alex Moe. We've seen Alex Moe race in a lot of races, and that super speedway racer, he's pretty decent at. Just wait till we get to Michigan. Guy is something in Michigan.
Denny Carroll in first, followed by Randy Waugh. I'm sure Corey's at home watching. Gutierrez looking low. Trying to get that low line working. We're 3 wide back there too, I can see. The 003 of Medina tucking back in. Everybody's just kind of minding their own business right now. They're not racing too hard. Everybody's giving each other a lot of room.
Got Danny Carroll and Randy Waugh up there just kind of playing the move up, move down, move up, move down kind of thing, to just kind of going where the momentum is, kind of keeping themselves out front. Just got to be careful doing that, just because if you don't get up there in time, especially when you're up front, that could cause a big wreck.
Yeah, and then you got that the 000 there of Panacea. I want to say that right.
Yeah,
we're gonna get used to this.
Nice looking car.
Panacea. That's
like
what I want to say
Panacea.
is Panacea. Yeah, it's cool. I like that because now we're seeing a lot of different styles of paint schemes too coming into a different league. You get to see different styles of paints. Everybody's got their style, so it's cool to see some of these things here. Seth Cole in the 93 Bass Pro Shops.
Jack Merkel made a great move from the top side down.
Oh,
that's going to be a big one. I'm just talking about him. We shouldn't have talked about him, I guess, because he got involved in that. Slight tap in the inside wall. I think he'll be okay. I think he blew a tire, though. But he made a great move from the high side to get down on the bottom side, and was actually leading the lead car down on the bottom side until something happened on the outside that come down into him.
Get your replay here. This replay is sponsored in part by Tarnation TV because we don't have any sponsors. It happened up near the front. I'm actually surprised that did not collect more. Who was that? That's Nate Balser. Let me see if I can find Nate.
I had the 000, and I believe Nate Balser was involved in it.
Yeah.
Not sure if it was just a bump draft gone wrong, or...
I think I want to lock onto the 79 just to maybe see exactly where it started. Helicopter camera here on the 79. Oh, happened right in front of them. The helicopter camera is a boring camera, but it definitely shows you a lot of stuff. That's what we call the Tarnation TV curse.
Denny Carroll was out front. Randy Waugh, Seth Cole, trying to decide whether they want to pit or not. The outside pole sitter there.
Great car control, though, by the 000, man. He actually kept that thing from sliding right back through the pack right there. See how he lacked the brakes up, let him go. He got tagged a little bit there, but a pile of cars could have been affected by that. But that's some good driving.
They had 6 cars, I think, stay out. Oh, no, there's a few more than that are coming in from the back. Then a bunch of the started with Seth Cole, which was our 3rd place car, I believe. Brought a bunch of cars down pit road, but we still have 8 cars that just elected to stay out. Be interesting to see, had a few laps into it, whether they're going to stay out. Maybe, well, let's see. Now we're getting close to the point. If you can do 50 laps, you know what I mean? You might, if you can do 50 laps and fuel, you might try to stay out and get your fuel later. Because right now, we're at about 101 laps to go at the start-finish lines.
Interesting math.
If
you can see there on the bottom of the screen there, we got Blaine and Rod, of course, your host this evening. Join us next week in Vegas at 9 o'clock, next Tuesday, right here at the Maverick Cup Series. And across the bottom there, we got a special event coming up Sunday, April the 27th, live right here on Tarnation TV. The 3rd annual memorial for Ken and Hinnett, which will be known as, is it the 5th annual? I thought it was the 3rd. I'm sorry, Brian. In the YouTube chat, Fluid Studios, that's Brian Wolf. 5th annual Ken and Hinnett race. Maybe it's the 3rd one I've done. Yeah. But the race to end gun violence, anyway, we got a brand new track. It is a modified Michigan track called Fluid Raceway, which at the start of this broadcast, you actually saw the brand new Tarnation TV facilities at Fluid Raceway. So that's where we broadcast from. We're not in a Winnebago anymore, behind the porta potties. We're actually in a real live studio, thanks to Fluid Studios for making that thing happen. I've done. Oh, he's telling me I've broadcasted 4 of those. All right, then.
We don't have the Rodney Sullins camper anymore?
No, because it's not Talladega
down there.
Yeah. Well, I got to keep track. Yeah, we've been doing the Cannon races for a really long time, so that'll be a lot of fun. Brian's working like crazy on there. He's got videos going. And, yeah, join us on the 27th of April. Live here on a Sunday night. It's going to be, it's going to be a whole thing. It's not your normal, these benefit races are never your normal style of broadcast. They, there's a lot of pre-race stuff going on, a lot of pre-recorded things and interviews with people, and it's going to be a lot of fun. They're always really, they're tough to put together, but they're great when we pull them off. And of course, with Kelly Causey, we are in cahoots with him again this year for the 3rd annual, maybe that's where I got the 3 from, the 3rd annual ALS Association race.
That's usually a good race.
That's the 3rd one we're doing this year. That's where I got messed up. So, but yeah, we're with
be my second, but yeah.
Kelly as well. Yeah, and Seth will join us on that one. And that's also a big fundraising event. So a bunch of fundraising events. If you like what you're seeing for the next 13 seconds, subscriptions to the YouTube channel for Tarnation TV are free. So click that prescribe button to prescribe to the channel. And make sure to double tap the thumbs down button. Hit it twice.
Yeah, hit it twice? Is that how it works?
Yep. That's how you really bake it in there. Lots of views tonight so far. We got about 50 people watching. We got 160 hits already. Thanks again to everybody watching live. Oh, I don't even like it. Why are we looking at the pace car? Let's look at the racetrack. There we go.
Well, there we go. So I liked it. So now we have 18.
Perfect. Maybe I should too. One sec. Probably should watch and like my own broadcast, right? Hey, there it is.
Denny
20.
Carroll is able to keep the lead.
It's up to 20 now.
He's got the outside pole sitter. I'm sorry, I got to get used to names again.
Denny, who never heard of him? There he is. Yeah, Denny is no stranger to the NASCAR 2003 season.
Bianco Media. I think I'm trying to remember where he said he was from, but one of the guys that I believe was from Argentina or something like that.
Yeah, there's a few guys from South America. Yeah, there's a few, like a good handful of guys from South America down there. Venezuela, I think I heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Whole
cool.
pile of black flags, man. Look at your GNL TV right now. There's about 19 black flags, and they won't need to be served. They'll just need to be cleared.
And that's what happened when you do the double file restarts. Especially on a track like this, it's hard. Basically, the game is designed where you have to be nose to tail. A double file restart, if you actually engage that, basically just allows the lap cars to come down on the inside groove all the way up to the front. That's the way they did it back in 2003.
Right.
So these leagues that do that, you're going to have a car. The first place car at the last restart was Denny Carroll, and then you're going to have a second place car, and you're going to put them on the outside. Well, if that car passes before the green flag comes out, they get a black flag.
You can pass.
Clearance.
You can pass on the outside. You can't pass to the inside.
Right. So if the inside guy, passes a little too early, they get a black flag. So ends up.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily an admin's dream, but you basically. You have to clear the black flags, and that's the way they run it.
Especially with a full field like this, when you got 40 cars on the track, and you're going to have half a dozen of those every time, because it is just a matter of an inch or two. Oh, you passed before the line. It's double file restart, man. If it's single file, never would happen. But or it could happen, but you just make sure you cover the right side and don't let them pass to the right, because that would be legal. But those black flags will always be cleared. Of course, you can get black flags for speeding on pit road, exiting illegally, entering illegally, passing under yellow, stuff like that. Those would have to be served under race conditions, but those black flags on the restarts would definitely be. Saw some shenanigans back there.
The bottom line kind of got a bad start, and everybody kind of moved to the high side. So Denny Carroll, Randy Waugh, and the 51, which was Jackson Brown, were kind of stuck on the bottom group by themselves. But fortunately, Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh were able to get up in front of Greg Palmer and got back up there where that momentum is. The bottom line is just doesn't have enough cars in it yet to really build that momentum up to where they can get to the front. But if everybody keeps going to the high side, they'll never get that.
So we had some stuff happen at the back of the pack there. There was an accident. The yellow did not come out. But we are staying focused here on Don LaPrade, your leader right now. You can see the dust in the air right there.
Oh, yeah.
I was just curious of where they're going to be now as far as lap traffic goes, if they got that straightened out or not. I don't want to break away from the main pack either for too long.
Denny Carroll, Randy Waugh, and Greg Palmer just got a good run, went to the bottom. We'll be trying to see if they can help that bottom grove kind of work their way up there. They're running really nice and tight, which is going to help them. The 51 there, Jackson Browns, hasn't got now. Garland Oaks jumped down there to help them. So they might be able to make some headway with that. They're starting to take drivers from the top, bringing them down to the bottom. They're making hay. They're getting there. They're making their way up through there pretty good. Of course, the two front leaders drop down in front of them. But that's what you got to do. That's super speedway racing. You race a lot more out of your rear view mirror than you do looking out of the front of the car.
Yep. Currently locked onto the 92 of Austin LaPlante. Currently running 5th at the stripe.
I haven't heard that name, and for a long time, I used to race with Austin LaPlante over at Hobo Racing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Always ran the 48. Big Jimmy Johnson fan. Obviously here they got one guy that's run the 48, one's running an 84, so he had to probably pick a different number. He was pretty good little shoe. I think he won races over there. Not all the time. There's a lot of talented people over there, but
well, so that's an interesting question. Is how he came up with 92. Then, if you're going to run 48 all those years, where'd you get 92 from?
That would be a good one. If he gets in the top three,
maybe he's 92 years old. He's the oldest person to ever play this game.
I don't think that's the case. He's a bit younger than I was. A bit younger than I was.
Yeah. Well, if he was 92, he'd be pretty old.
Yes. But it was just like I said. It was nice. It was nice to see that name. Glad to hear that he's still racing. I no longer race over to Hopo Racing. Nothing to do with a Great League. And the only reason I quit racing over there was they decided one year that they just wasn't going to do a winter series. I like to keep sharp, so I went and found some other places to go run. Wouldn't be here talking to you right now had I not done that.
Oh wow!
Went over to Talladega Nights, and first race I ran, you and Brad did the broadcast.
Yep.
And I watched the broadcast, and I said, "Yeah, well, no disrespect to you, but I'm like, this could be better." And so I offered my services. Unfortunately, you turned me down. Didn't know what I had for talent, but hey.
Yeah, it was cool too with Brad because he doesn't have any interest in NASCAR, but we've been friends for so long.
Yeah.
That we he sent me a screenshot one day. He got the game installed, didn't tell me. I'm like, well, damn. Here we go. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna call this race, and it's fun to have a guy in there that's not 100% up on the racing situation either, because then it's he's not afraid to ask questions. So then it's a learning experience too for other people maybe watching that don't know certain things. And I mean, hell, I don't know everything either. Then I got you. I'm bouncing all kinds of stuff off of you.
Well, I've got over 40 years of racing experience, with not just online and real life, in the real world and everything. So I kind of got a little knowledge of this stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the number of that Toyota that just dropped down to the bottom here. Sorry, I'm still getting used to cars. 69. Pulled down in front of a Denny Carroll to try to do it. Now he's got the 74, and I do apologize. I'm going to get used to these names, getting used to these cars, but the 74 and the 77 pulled down in front of him. All right, LaPlante, if he can whip, they pull up in front of him. I was going to say, he might be able to get out and lead. I still think that higher groove has got a better momentum.
It seems to be, yeah. It might fade for a little while, but then they always come back. That bottom line moving really good right there. In the chat there, Matt Mass says the 92 was JJ Bush series number.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. That's it. He's a Jimmy Johnson fan. He's still running a Jimmy Johnson number.
Yep. But a lot of the people that don't understand that, you get people that get into racing. So why do I run the 31 all the time, like my go-karting and any league that number is not already taken? I always ran the 31 because my Uncle Dave ran the 31. And he was kind of my idol.
Cool.
And so, that's why I ran that number. Then at tracks or whatever, where the 31 is taken, I run the 19. Well, Martin Truex fan. So
27 there.
Yeah. Going a lap down.
Being lapped, yeah.
Ooh! I can't. The 84 just turned right up in front of him.
Yeah, it did.
Got turned. I don't think he, didn't quite catch what happened. Back under caution again. Kind of looking to see maybe if we can figure out what happened. Somebody got bumped in the middle of the corner. Just a question of how it happened. Bird kind of going by Mark Snyder there. But he wasn't the cause of it. Somebody got into the back of the 84. That's not hard to do. I mean, you're running so close to each other. Trying to find names is fun. Cody Lamas, what it was. See, Garland Oaks got towed in. I'm not sure what happened to him. See kind of a mixture of paints in these cars out there. There's people have old, modern real cup car paint schemes. Some have the old cup car paint schemes. Some have their own. It's pretty neat. Dunlop Pratt is going to bring pretty much everybody down pit road. Ryzen Baker right behind him. Adam Cole in the 69. It's the one I couldn't quite figure out. Getting used to that. Michael Norman in 4th. Austin LaPlante is their top 5. Whether Austin stayed out or pitted, I didn't see. He did pit. Looks like he probably only did fuel only. Austin is out there in one of our Lexuses tonight. Looks to be about the 3rd car that came off from pit road. Adam Cole, I think, is going to be possibly our first car that came off from pit road. And we had a few, like 6 cars that stayed out. That's the first chance I've seen that monster car. That's actually a cool looking rig. Monster Kit Kat car. The 199 of Tran Gomez. It sounds like I'm kind of stumbling there for a minute, but I'm trying to figure out the names. Still getting used to it. Christian Torres in the old Ford Oreo, the 4 Oreo Chevrolet, a kind of an old nod to one of the, I think it was Kevin Harvick cars when they ran Chevrolets over to Stewart Haas Racing.
Looks like the lights are off on the pace car.
Adam Cole is their first driver to come off pit road. It looks like he's going to be back in 6th position on the outside. Believe him, Austin LaPlante. Still trying to get used to the numbers here. The 22 of Michael Norman. The first 3 cars that made it off pit road. Strategy-wise, I'm not sure. We're only on lap 38 of 125.
Yeah. third yellow on the night, which equals 11. Or no, sorry.
Pace car lights are off on the pace car.
Yeah.
Should be coming off turn 4. Pace car should be getting out of the way.
With 3 yellows and 9 laps under yellow. Everybody has pitted.
Santa Gutierrez. I'm trying to get him right.
Yeah, Santi.
I'll lead him to the green. The 5 drop down to the bottom side, which is not normal in the normal restarts. Most everybody's been going to the high side to keep the momentum up. Nate Balzer on the high side doesn't have a whole lot of help, but Adam Cole and Austin LaPlante starting to catch up to him. They might be able to help him get back out toward the front. 9 times out of 10 on these tracks, you get a little bit better run if you've got enough people on the high side coming off the corner. You get a better run on the inside going into the corner. Some nice jockeying for lanes there. Some of the drivers moving up to the high side. Start getting the more momentum up on that high side there. As I thought, Nate Baltzer's going to get back out front. Adam Cole behind him. Austin LaPlante pushing from behind.
Just got a text there from Benjamin. Dylan Livingood is the one who put up the purse for the winners this evening. Yeah, from High Voltage Media Productions.
Very cool. That bottom side just doesn't have that. Can't keep that momentum up. They got to get a little bit tighter. They're not running as tight as the high side is, and the high side was able to make a bigger run out of it. Yep, I'm sure. You got it. So now some of the drivers there, the 81 to abandon the low side. Low side's not going to really be able to make much happen if they can't get the help. Alex Moe's coming up from the bottom side. There's just more cars that on that high side groove. They just don't have the momentum on the bottom side. But if you stay in line together all the way, you're never going to make it to the front. Somebody back there pulled low just to get out of the way. They had a little bit of latency, I think, that kind of messed them up. Looks like right now the high side is just prevailing so much better. The people that keep dropping down trying to go forward with that bottom group, which is starting to build momentum. They're starting to get a little bit tighter line. Some of the drivers that like to work together right now, I think they're kind of separated from each other. Seth Cole went to the bottom. See if he can get up there. He moved, guys, got lucky, opened up something on the high side there. Was able to get back on that high groove. He made a position or two doing that. You can see back there in the back of the field, Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh got back together, which they seem to work really well together. Nate Balzer's our current leader. Adam Cole behind him. Austin LaPlante. Seth Cole. And Michael Norman. Keeping that high side rolling pretty good. Alex Moe got kind of stuck in what they call the sucker hole. He's going to go backwards for that one. Unfortunately, that's killing the momentum on the low side a little bit, so that high side's making a runaway, because when they're running side by side down there like that, it makes it harder for the bottom to be able to come off the corner real good. Alex Moe's able to get himself back up on that high groove. we haven't reached the halfway point of this race, so they're just kind of calming down a little bit, which is good to see. Few people are trying to make moves towards the front, but I think the smarter move is to stay out of trouble. On the laps down, worry about fighting for it when you get near the end. Seth Cole's moved down to the bottom groove, but he's got no help. Oh no, he drifted up. I think he got into Adam Cole. Big wreck. Oh, we're going to have cars everywhere on that one.
That's a big one. I think, would that classify as the big one? I think that might.
I would think so. It almost looked like Seth kind of come up to do a little side draft on Adam Cole, and they just touched. Maybe Adam come down. I don't know. It kind of happened real quick and piled up quite a bit of the field.
So we'll back her up here. See if we can find your replay. A lot of cars avoiding it. Try to find the point of impact here. Oh, it looks like there's a couple of different accidents, actually. There's one up front, and then there's another one in the back. I can't even see the whole thing.
It's the only thing that's really bad about super speedway racing.
So there's an incident up front, which leads to some checking, which causes a second one with the 5 and the 51 of Jim Brown and the 11 of Wilson. And then there's some more checking up, and then that causes another one in the back involving Palmer. So it really was almost like 2 or 3 separate incidents. It's really hard to focus on. There's so much going on.
What people don't understand, though, is they're watching the broadcast and like, why couldn't they miss that? Or it's not that easy to do. Sometimes when, depending on the view you use when you race, you can't see through the car in front of you. And so that when that happens, sometimes you just see smoke, and by the time you see smoke, it's too late.
It's too late, yeah. If you see from this angle, maybe they're coming into the turn. There's the first pile of smoke, and then you see a couple more starting up, and there's a lot of cars. Nobody blew over or anything. Everybody sort of kept the wheels on the ground. I'm trying to see if maybe there's 1 or 2 guys that actually got through that.
Austin LaPlante decided to stay out. He led a lap, which I believe would be his first lap led tonight. Yep, that is correct. Followed by Seth Cole.
Yeah. Austin LaPlante had 1.
Ryzen Baker, Anthony McCreary. Which I kind of like that Anthony McCreary car. It's just, the Ryan Newman thing. Randy Waugh. Bianco Media. If I say that right, I do apologize if I get it wrong. Who's our outside pole sitter?
Pace car on the track there, and the leader is 92, Austin LaPlante. Couple of lucky dogs going there in Garland Oaks, and
just looking at that.
Yep. The old 42 of Guillermo Sanchez as well.
Yeah. Now the thing of it is that even though I don't recall when they last pitted, you can't make it from here with the one stop.
No.
So maybe there's enough people that stayed out. Maybe you get, I think the top 8 stayed out. They possibly could all pit together if they should happen to come by through with a green flag pit stop. Come out, 8 cars together. They're not going to lose that much. Maybe.
Now, Guillermo was going pretty fast down pit road. But it'll just be an end of longest line penalty regardless, right?
Yep.
Sometimes it's worth to go a little bit quicker just to make sure you don't get put a lap down. Although he's being shown as 20 laps down, serving a black flag currently. Retired cars this evening: Mike Mangialardi, retired. Kez Hiller, retired. Joshua Mercurio, engine ignition failure. Benjamin Snyder and Cody Lamas, also both retired. And Don LaPrade is currently the car, or the driver, with the most laps led at 17.
One of the things that they do over here, yes, it's a double file restart, but leader has a choice. So if the leader wants the high side, they can opt to go to the high side. Austin LaPlante decided to take the low side. He's got Ryzen Baker on the outside of him. Anthony McCurry, Seth Cole, Randy Watt, and Denny Carl are our top 6. Nate Balzer seen back there in the 7th. Bianca Media is the 9th place, and Alex Malone. Sorry, Nick Gunther in the 55. That's our top 10.
It's the 55.
Gunther, love that name. If you get into Formula One at all, you know who that is.
Oh, okay.
He was the team boss for Haas F1. I forget what country he's from, but he's a no frills, no, tells you exactly how it is. I would love to have him as a crew chief because he's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Lights are off on the pace car, which means he will get out of the way and we will get back to green flag racing. Brian Wolf in the YouTube chat. Rod Weston, double threat, great driver and an awesome broadcaster. Aw, shucks.
Shucks is right. That's funny.
Ryzen Baker to the lead.
The better run on the high side went down in front of Austin LaPlante.
Yep. A really good start there on that restart.
I'm just about right. I think he got on the throttle just early enough to where he could probably going to see him get his black flag cleared, though. Mind you, it's just so, yeah. Had Randy Waugh and the 26 of Anthony McCurry both had black flags cleared, but mind you, that's not that they did anything wrong. It's just a product of trying to start double file racing.
Yeah.
Nate Balzer's leading the bottom groove on a charge. You don't quite have enough people yet, but that line is forming up.
Yeah, it looks like the high line is definitely the favorite. Coming down to the end of the race, I don't know what'll happen. You never know, right?
I think it's more of the favorite just because more drivers are running up there. I think if you could...
yeah.
Because we've seen it earlier where they've had almost equal amounts of cars. They run fairly close. I still believe that you're possibly going to get it.
Well, right there.
Ryzen pulls down in front of Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh.
Yep.
He just saw that momentum coming, had to go down there and try to use it to his own advantage.
That's interesting. You know, as we're talking about it, it changes, you know.
Yep. It does immensely here. Austin LaPlante's trying to make the charge on the high side of that group. So kind of got separated, yeah. They separated up a little bit. They were bringing on Denny Carroll. Ryzen Baker went to the high side in the 77, just because that's where the momentum was. Now it's down the bottom, and it sounds funny, and we keep saying it, but that's how you, being a leader up there, that's how you stay up there. Is you just gotta follow the momentum and try to either slow that momentum down or use that momentum to keep you in the front. Denny Carroll is, I think as soon as if you see him and Randy get clear of Austin LaPlante, I think you'll probably see them move to that high groove.
And that's the thing. It's like people will say that's blocking.
They got it.
Yep. That was a good timing on that one.
Yep, they timed it just right. So when they went down to the the bottom, he couldn't get below. That may not be the best move at all, but because that high groove is a little bit formed up. But you got Nate Balser right behind them, and you're starting to get that bottom line formed up a whole lot better.
And Nate's committed to that bottom line. He's been down there for many laps, and finally it looks like it's working. And the 39 of Alex Mullen right behind him.
But what I say, I think that this track seems to provide some pretty good side-by-side racing, as long as the line that you're in has about the same amount of cars as the other line. Now they formed up. They're side-by-side all the way around this track, and they're about the same amount of cars in each line. You also, if you take a really good look at it, though, you got Randy Waugh on them straightaways. He is right on that rear bump with Denny Carroll, giving him a good push. Where Austin LaPlante is really not on Baker's rear as much. But you can see, as I said before, the inside line is going to get into the corner a little better. The outside line is going to get off the corner a little better.
Yeah, I wonder where do you want to be in the final laps of this race? I mean, we're nowhere near that yet, but it's interesting.
In idealistic conditions, you want to be the only car on the lead lap all by your lonesome. You don't have to worry about it.
That would be nice, yeah.
Where do you want to be? That's a hard question. I mean, do you want to be the leader? As we saw Ryzen Baker, you playing both lines pretty well. He was doing it really, really well until Denny Carroll just kind of pulled a fast one on him.
Yeah.
But
But
you don't
Carroll
know.
has
I
not
mean,
been able to get by him completely. It's just a matter of running side by side right now.
that's the thing about super speedway that I think I do not like the most of it is you race a track like Martinsville, Bristol, but you're in somewhat, as long as you're fast enough, you're in control of your own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
At a super speedway, you're not. If you don't have a friend behind you or someone that that you trust that's going to stay there and help push you up through there. Right now, Randy Waugh's pushing Denny Carroll, Austin LaPlante's pushing Ryan Baker. Okay, perfect. Now we'll get down to 2 laps to go.
Right.
Is that going to be the same case? I mean, if you're Austin LaPlante, do you want to finish second? No, you want to be out front, and you're going to try to make those moves to get you there.
But sometimes trying to make those moves, you end up costing yourself a lot of space too.
Yep.
So you got to think about that. Like, okay, I tried this and that, and now I'm back at 12th. If I'd have just stayed right inside that guy's spoiler and pushed him, I'd have got second or third. You're talking a couple hundred points,
You look at what we know about the drivers here. We don't know a lot about.
No.
We do know a lot about Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh. And I can pretty much guarantee you, if the race come down to it and it was like this, Randy Waugh is not going to abandon Denny Carroll.
No.
Yeah, but they're going to stay together and they're going to try to do the best. Every one of these drivers out here, they're not just out here to win this race and win the money. Oh yeah, that's what they want. Everybody does. But they're also got a 24 race season.
Yeah.
It's a point season. So if you can't win, what do? You finish the best you can, try to keep you, in the best amount of points.
And could you imagine with Dylan Levengood putting up the purse for tonight's race, like what kind of sponsorship is going on for the championship, whoever takes the whole entire season? If there's $150, $125 on the line tonight for winning, you could be talking a really big purse to actually take home the championship.
And the other thing, too, you should think about it. You got to think about it like this. This is the way I think. Do you want to be known as the Maverick champion or the guy that won Daytona?
Right.
You know what I mean? Think about it. Who cares if you didn't win a race all season? But at the end of the year, you say, I'm the Maverick champion for that winter until we come back and do this again.
And that's a big deal. Because you're talking about full grids. If you get 30 to 40 drivers showing up every single week, and we got
back
yellow.
Up to a caution out again.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way Ryzen Baker, like I say, it's somebody new to me and I don't know him. I like the way he's been racing. I'm just keeping track of him up there.
Yeah.
He's smart. He's following the momentum, but he's not. Like when Denny pulled that move, he didn't go, I got to block him. Cause a big wreck.
Yep.
To me, seems to be a very smart super speedway racer.
I'm not seeing an accident. So I think we would just have. I think we just have a yellow. Is it like a midway yellow?
I don't know if they do that, to be honest with you. I did see smoke.
I can't seem to find anything. The lights on the pace car come out. I let it play for a little bit. Rip through the field and try to find out where the upside down car is.
When they came off from turn 2, I saw smoke.
If you can find a time frame or time stamp
Give me a minute.
or something, just let me know, because I took a quick look around and I couldn't see anything. They might have just been a controlled yellow. They may have just thrown this. Almost, like we're almost halfway. We're not halfway entirely, but we'll definitely be going green halfway. As of 125 laps, halfway would be about 63-ish. Majority of the field down on pit road again here. Topping up, getting some fresh skins. I don't see too many tire changes going on, but the race off pit road is definitely fun. Yeah, because I was in the replay and I focus on the pace car usually, wait for the lights to come up, let that run for a couple seconds, and then I kind of scan around the track and see if I can find an incident, and was not able to do it.
So far, I'm not finding anything, but that doesn't mean that something didn't happen.
Phantom caution. That's according to the YouTube chat.
The phantom caution.
Yep, the phantom caution. I'm guessing it's got to have something to do with being midway. Maybe the admins pulled that out. Well, we're under yellow. We could grab Ben.
You could do that, actually, because he is not in the race anymore.
He's retired. Yeah, he retired 30 laps ago. Pull him up here. We'll see what... well, we're under yellow here.
Give me a second to find him.
Benjamin Schneider live on the air, man. We're just curious about the yellow. Is this an administrative decision, midway point yellow kind of thing?
No, I think the 27 wrecked somebody.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't quite find it.
Let's see.
Yeah, the 27 pushed a car into the wall. I think it may have been the 78.
Ah, cool. Let's see if we can find it.
Got you up here. So far, I understand that you are out of the race, but so far it's been a pretty good race. A lot of good give and take out there.
Absolutely. I think this new qualifying format worked absolutely great.
Yeah, it did. No complaints there, that's for sure.
I'm glad we got out of the way last week. Last year it was a complete goat rope.
Going down the backstretch there, we've got Denny Carroll, Randy Waugh, Nate Balzer, in the 4. Christian Torres.
Oh, it was. I found it. Yep. It looks like the 27 got into on lap 57. Got into the back of RJ Bishop, spun him around. So there it is.
That is what I was told.
Yep, we found it. That's it. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me in the booth to clear that up.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's what it was. I did see the smoke down there, but I couldn't find the reason for it, so we just showed it in the replay there. So RJ Bishop, a little bit of a tap from Mark in the 27, sent him around.
getting ready to go back green. Green flag is out. Denny Curl on the front row. Randy Waugh behind him. Nate Balzer. Now let's see what, kind of figure out if Denny was going to try to get up in front of Randy Waugh. He tried to get there, doesn't have him cleared. He does now, but the momentum's on the bottom side. So.
Yeah, see, and then Denny, yeah, again, he doesn't look out the windshield very much.
Oh, he's going to be running up front. I mean, as much as you want to, you know, so he finally got up there so he could get Randy Waugh. Like I said, I know these guys race together. They've recently just been racing. They try to stay together.
Yeah.
But you can't go up there just to help your teammate out because the bottom crew was going better. That's what he did. He went and he waited. Nate Balzer kind of got behind him and gave him enough of a shove so that both of them could get in front of Randy Waugh. Now they've all on the high side there. None of them got themselves out front. That bottom line, it seems to me that bottom line takes a little longer to kind of get warmed up. I think that the run off the high side is a little better.
I wonder, yeah, because maybe I'm trying to think back. Maybe it depends on the drivers. Like some guys maybe just like running down there and stick with it. But like, you know, Nate's been all over the place. So is Denny. Yeah, so is Don LaPrade. You know, I'm watching Austin LaPlante. You're watching these guys. They're high, they're low. It's just in the numbers, I think, like you were saying before. The more the merrier.
LaPrate's clearly starting to build up momentum on that bottom. He made an early charge down there, and he went back about 3 spots just because he had no help behind him. Now that help's formed up behind him, as long as they can, you know, I hate to beat a dead horse, but they really have got to keep in line and work together. You start offsetting yourself a little bit too much, you don't get that run.
Christian Torres to the bottom there, looking to maybe assist that bottom line and move him forward. It was a pretty aggressive move to the bottom. I don't know, maybe he got squeezed out up there.
That's a possibility too. The thing of it, we got people behind. I say smoke. That's going to bring out our next caution.
Definitely. Cautions breed cautions, as they say, and it is true. You'd run 40 straight laps of nothing, and then you'll just get 3 cautions in a row.
It's a pretty good wreck, too.
Yeah, it is. It collected a few. Hoping no major damage. Oh, it looks like the... Oh, wait a second. Back up. Looks like the 199 Frank Gomez got out of shape there, yeah. Ran out of room in the corner.
Hit the wall. Come down in front of, and I'm trying to see the car.
Wow.
In front of, it looks like the 55. And it just melee ensued. If you want to watch a pretty good view of it, watch it through...
I was just going to go to Garland.
6 cars.
But my game just crashed out on me. So I won't be able to watch it.
Tate Dorsey drove through that. It was pretty cool to watch him go through.
Let me know when I fall out. I just, game just crashed.
10-4. You fell.
Okay. Yeah, so I won't be able to watch that replay. So thanks for watching. Damn, I was just going to get on Garland because he was going for a ride up in the catch fence.
Like I said, to watch the 6, he got through it, got a little sideways, straightened out, and drove through just crash avoidance 101. Went through them cars that were going left, right, left. Did it very well.
In the YouTube chat there, Dickus88 goes, so gruesome of a wreck you had to cut the feed. Yeah, we had to dump it. The cars were flying over the fence into the forest. It was nobody wants to see that, so we had to cut it. Quick, cut the black.
Gotta love some of the people
in
that
that replay zooming around on different cars, and then the game just locked up and away she went.
Remember, one switch at a time, turning your stuff on.
It's funny how the game itself will run perfect, and then sometimes not so much.
Now I'm sitting here thinking we got to be close to that window.
You're talking about your 50 lap go to the end window?
I'm thinking. About 10 laps away. So I think you see Denny Carroll, Nate Balzer, Randy Waugh. All stayed out. A bunch of drivers stayed out. 10 laps to go before you can make it on fuel. Not 100%. Some of these guys pitted not that long ago. We had a caution not too many laps ago. So you kind of want to, I mean, if it was me, I'd stay out the next caution, or you can get maybe split it in half. Biggest thing is who you got coming with you, coming out all at the same time, group that can work well enough together so that, you know, if you have, I wouldn't want to go out there with 4 cars. I think if you could do it with about 8, I believe with 8 cars in this game that are running really good, you're not going to lose much time. If you take like Denny Curl, Nate Balzer, Randy Waugh, Anthony McCurry, Greg Palmer, the top 5, there's a pretty good group of cars right there that I think if they come out and, you know, just 5 of them ran together, wouldn't lose so much time to the whole pack.
And you're saying right to the end.
Yeah, run it. You know, you at that point, if it went green the rest of the way, you're going to do a green flag pit stop. It really depends on them guys themselves, how they feel about doing it. There again, Anthony Perry, I don't know enough about his racing prowess, I guess is the way to put it. I do know that the other guys around him are going to be really good at green flag pit stops. I've, you know, raced with them guys enough to know what they're capable of doing. Some people, they can race great all day long, but when it comes to a green flag pit stop, they're just not that good at it. You can really gain a lot of time just about on how you come into the pits, how you leave the pits.
Yeah. And under green, it's amplified. Like if you hit it perfect, or maybe you miss one little thing and you're talking maybe a second. A second's massive, especially at a super speedway.
You'll get some drivers that will start slowing down, you know, kind of mid-corner, what I call 3, but everybody calls 4, you know, these super speedways. But they'll start slowing down there. You can't do that. You need to go, and you need to go in as deep as you can and try to, you know, just brake as late as you can without getting yourself in trouble. Get down, hit the road speed, maybe hot pit it a little bit, just overshoot just a little, get down into doing the 55 mile an hour speed limit, down pit road, get to your pit, don't overshoot, don't mess up. Probably only going to take 2 tires, if you take any at all. Get your tires fuel, get up to 55 as fast as you can, and just as soon as they say you're clear, you got to be on it. You get that done with the right group of people where you all do it at the same time, you're going to be hard to beat because you're going to get out, you're going to get a drafting help, you're going to go out.
Like a well-oiled machine, right?
Quicker. Yep.
Everybody knows their job.
Yep. And I've seen guys that great super speedway racers do awesome, just can't get in there quick enough, and they lose so much time on pits.
Yeah.
I've seen Denny Carroll, Randy Waugh, them guys in Greg Palmer. They get in, get out, and as long as they do it flawlessly, they do it well. Getting ready to go back green. Denny Carroll still up front.
Yep, we are green. Actually, you're not live.
That happens when you go looking for things.
Yep. That's the thing. Like, and hot pitting too is another one. Like, if you can nail that hot pit, you're gaining even that much more.
If you get it right, you really gain.
Oh yeah.
But if you get it wrong just a little bit, there's that speeding penalty.
Your day's
back
over.
Down, do a drive-through again.
Yep.
Just like I said, you know, you got Denny Carroll, Randy Waugh, Greg Palmer, Nate Balzer, Now, I'm not saying that these guys are the greatest racers in the world. These are 4 guys that I know. They are good at super speedway racing.
Yes.
Not taking anything away from the guys around him. I just don't know them well enough to know what they're. Ooh, somebody got a little loose back there. I think I got a little extra help. Great save, though.
No kidding.
What a save.
That was. Oh, I was trying to see who that was. One sec, we're going to load that
Oh,
up.
no, Nate Balzer got hit in the middle of the corner, I believe. He is backward. Going down the back stretch. I think we got another yellow.
Oh, we got a roller. The 22. Okay. About to load her up. Not an amazing save, and unfortunately it led to, well, it didn't lead to anything. The save was amazing.
A little thump, a little loose, and early went right down to below the yellow line. Got it hooked up, got it straightened out, come right back up, and really didn't lose that much time.
No, it was Zachary Hall in the 32.
Very
Runs
nice
out of space there, gets sideways. A lot of paved tarmac down there. Slams the brakes on, gets it righted before coming back into the track. Beautiful. And then in front of that, we'll find the reason for the smoke show. Oh, there's somebody. Oh, is that Nate?
Yeah, I believe somebody got
is.
the back of Nate. I didn't really see it. I saw Nate going around. Now the question is, 55 laps away. Now, you can save fuel. Precaution.
Oh, little tap there from Medina on Nate. Yeah, I got him turned around. A lot of rear end damage on the 7.9. Oh, there's the rear end damage, yeah. The 11 came in there of Todd Wilson sideways.
So now, I'm wondering, they're coming off turn 3, as I call it now. And he's making a decision. I think you're going to see him come down and take fuel.
Okay.
Him, Randy Waugh, and Greg Palmer were the first 3 to come down. The rest kind of stayed out. Think about it. Even though we got 55, we believe they can do about 50 laps.
Yeah, that might be a little bit lower. Like it could be 45.
Right.
I wasn't able to get on track and test it.
Neither was I. I do apologize. Should have put my wheel on and went out and just did some practice laps, but
Because is Talladega not on a 1X? Is Talladega not like a 44 lap window? I'm thinking more like a 45 area instead of a 50. 50 seems long.
I'm only going by what I asked drivers earlier. You know what they thought, and they said somewhere around 50. Now you think about it. If hypothetically we get a few cautions, standard rule is usually you can save about a lap, maybe 2 laps under caution, especially if you do a lot of clutching.
Yeah.
So, maybe Danny Carroll, Randy Waugh.
So you're thinking the guys that went in, maybe that'll be their final stop. And they're anticipating that everybody in front of them might, but now they've put themselves in the middle of this.
Yes.
That's an issue too, is now you're in amongst a lot of cars now, and you got to try to find your way to the front. That's hard to do. Tate Dorsey in for Solomon. Herbert Solomon unable to make the race. Dorsey jumped in the 6.
We still have 29 cars on the lead lap. This Sandoval is still 1 lap down.
So he will be the lucky dog.
We have 3 cars a lap down, and then from back on there, people that have dropped out of the race. That's not bad. I mean, you still have 29 cars on the lead lap, and we might get a few more of them up there after this. Do remember seeing one of the cars go by. Gotta get used to these people's names.
Yeah, we're just focused on Matt McIntyre back here in the Bobby Labonte looking thing. 738 interstate batteries. Toyota Camry. Nate Balser in front of him. Zachary Hall right there. Todd Wilson.
Yeah, so, all right. Guntermo Sanchez is a lucky dog. I thought I saw him go around. So, one question that we didn't ask, we'll have to make sure we ask next week, is whether it's just one car. Some leagues actually do 2 cars.
Yeah, I have the rules on my tablet there, but for some reason I can't load them up. Keith Hughes is currently leading this pack. Right beside the 74 of Don LaPrade, followed by Ryzen Baker and Chad Hayer. The first 2 rows. Christian Torres there in the 4. Been hanging around up front all day in that blue Oreos car. Well, the Oreos aren't blue. The car is blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would eat a blue Oreo. Maybe.
I'm sure they probably go out and make you one now. There's so many different flavors of Oreos, it's crazy.
Brad is in the chat. Welcome back, buddy. The Wrecking Ball. We're focused
Get back
on...
to go green there. Only Honda in the field leading us to the green flag. The bottom line seems to be a little bit more formed up. Pat on the outside doesn't have a whole lot of help right directly behind him. It's coming. The guys on the bottom seem to be formed up a little bit better. We haven't seen that happen too much tonight.
At the start of a run, too, they tend to stay low because it's not really going to push one way or the other, right? Most of you got flying up around 190. That's a different story.
But the other thing, too, is we didn't get the opportunity to go out and see.
Right, when I said it, he moves to the tie side, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say it because it'll go wrong.
Got the 6 of Tate Dorsey on the bottom side. He was bottoms up for a little bit. Got some help coming.
Wow, it all changes so quick.
It does.
We think we know what we're talking about. You'd be wrong. TarnationTV.com.
Yeah.
So with Benjamin Snyder being retired from the race, he's able to sit on the sidelines and actually do his admin duties. So he's being able to clear all these black flags and run that show a little bit easier than when you're actually driving, trying to do it with hotkeys.
Well, Dorsey's trying his best to get up to the pack there. He's doing really pretty decent. Like I said, the inside line will go a little bit better on the entry of the corner. He made up a little bit of ground there. There's only three of them right down there, but they are running pretty tight. It's going to be hard to beat that high side line, put as many cars as they have up there. Just looking to see who on that high side, if they see that momentum coming, is going to go down there to pull out in front of Dorsey.
Big lane shift there on the 4 of Christian Torres. He's got a hold of it. I thought he was going to hit the wall. It looks like it might be just a little bit of an internet twitch, maybe.
I was just going to say, Dorsey just lost all his friends. You had the 7. There we go. 7, the 007. You have to really look at that close. Because there is two zeros in front of the 7.
Yes, there is. Yeah, he's got it like they're there, but they're small.
Oh, you got a few of them around back in the back of the pack there.
Yeah, that whole section.
And I don't know, but that might have been after the caution, because the pace car was already out when that happened.
I heard some screeching tires before, yeah, so it looks like we might have had a second wreck.
That's a problem with these big tracks like that, too, is you've got so much speed let up, if somebody slows down a little bit more than you anticipate, sometimes they get a little bit of fender benders going on and it causes other issues.
smoke coming out of Zach Hall here. He got squeezed off right down on the apron there. It almost looks like that was weird. It almost looked like he cut a tire down or something. And just a major wallop. McIntyre getting tangled up for Snyder. So that would have brought out the initial yellow. The 11 drifting through the grass. And then that's when we have the bigger accident on the front straightaway.
Now the question is, who pits, who doesn't pit? Where do they stand? I think
Looks
a lot
like
of the guys that didn't pit last time, not everybody, is pitting now.
Looks like the 81. Yeah, looked like a bad bump
Greg
trap
Palmer
there.
pitted. Denny Carroll pitted. Randy was pitting. I just was checking on those guys that we thought might not pit again. He actually came down and pitted again. Greg Palmer's taking tires.
Yeah, interesting. Because you think that this late in the race now, we're past halfway. I think they want that track position.
I think the question that we don't know is tire wear. You know, how much they have.
The gripped up surface probably doesn't help the tire wear.
No. So is what we're looking at, like 45-ish.
Just checking out Merkel there in the 24. Old school Jeff Gordon throwback. Always a cool looking car. Mighty fine broadcast, gents. Thank you, Brad.
I would say.
And you know what? Brian is right. I would eat a blue Oreo muffin. That is true.
Ah, there you go. Gonna probably go green-ish. 45 laps to go. That's kind of. We think that should be in that window.
Yeah, in the YouTube chat there too. Dizza says the same thing. Fuel strategy is not out of the window yet. Not out the window yet. So yeah, it's true. Anticipating more yellows. That's the thing. If there's no more yellows, there's all these ifs, right?
Yeah, it's. Also depends too. So if you're the leader, you use more fuel because you're braking the air.
Yep. And you can't clutch when you're the leader. It's impossible.
No. But when you're behind the pack, watching some of the cars, I'm just wondering.
There's Michael Norman, the 22. He's Seth Cole's co-host over there at FRN.
Oh,
Links
cool.
in the description below for all the other broadcasting channels. You got FRN, you got JTN, you got Cook, you got Fast 29, Fluid Studios. They're all down there.
Danny Carroll came in. He's taking left side tires and fuel. You know, we could be about right. Maybe we're a little off on the fuel, but we didn't get out there and try it. Going on information that was given, where some people didn't want to really be too forthwith with it. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Like, yeah, no, we're not giving up that information.
Nope.
It'll cost you.
That's what Craig Palmer said to me. He goes, you need my PayPal information, is what he said. Two guys have been working together there, Denny Curl and Randy Waugh. Both took left side tires.
We've got an insider in the YouTube chat here. Dizza says he's in a call right now with Ryzen, and he's telling us the fuel strategy is still on the table.
That just throws
inside field reporter.
Yeah.
Trackside.
We should have done was thought about it, but I know he might have given him the information. We should have brought somebody down, Greg Palmer, and bring him down there.
Yeah, under yellow flags, you do have control of the broadcast. We've just been kind of talking amongst ourselves for most of the race, but yeah, if we do have another break, we could grab someone on track and maybe pick their brain a little bit.
Yeah,
on how much they can actually get on a tank if they were to run full out.
We're back going green. Like I said, it's their first time to me dealing with the Maverick Racing Series. To me, I'm just more trying to learn the drivers and the names and get a little more familiar with them. Really don't want to grab somebody and pull them up in here until we know they're comfortable with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. We are familiar with a bunch of these people, so then we have our go-tos. But then, we're looking forward to just getting to know everybody and who's able to talk and likes to talk. Some people don't like to talk. That's the thing.
Nope.
You don't want to grab someone that doesn't want to be on. But we also know guys like Palmer love the sound of their own voice. Yeah,
he's a character.
Exactly. And he can take a jab too. That's why I can say that. So
fun guy to race with too. But he has a nut.
3 wide back there almost. Jeez, I'm gonna back this up a bit.
You'd have to know him, but he has a bit of a nut. High side really kind of looking at the 7 there. 007, sorry. And kind of looking at the bottom in the 6. Tate Dorsey kind of poking down to see if they could make something happen, but they got nobody down there at the bottom side. Went back to the high side and decided, well, we'll just ride this out a little bit.
Car sideways on the apron. It looks like Nate. He might not be having a good time with downforce on the back of that car after they had to basically tear his trunk lid off after that last accident.
Usually when there's damage in the back, it has a tendency to make the car loosen up. Really, nobody. Ooh, full cars bounced off the wall on the exit of the corner there. Didn't seem to slow them down too much.
So more news from the YouTube chat saying they have to pit with about 40 or less to go. That's what Ryzen is saying. They can't save fuel too much under yellow.
Yep.
So it looks like there's about 40 to 45 laps on a tank.
99's around. Off from 3. Don't know if there was enough cars involved.
Yeah. Green is still up.
Remember this group pulls out the yellows as they see, not as they seem fit. I don't want to do it that way, but if it's a single car spin, they're not going to do it. I know that if it's a 2-car spin, it's questionable. I think they said on the road courses that it has to have at least 3 cars.
Right. Yeah, it's at the discretion of the administrators. Like that one looked like it took place off of the racing surface. So if they're down below that line, you keep it green. Unfortunately for the people involved, it's going to take a long time to catch up now. Nate Balser has retired from the race.
The way it's going right now, we might have to start calling Keith Hughes the Pied Piper.
Yeah, Keith Hughes in the 82. Although
just out there running the high group.
So with Nate,
reminds me of the old when they started doing. They couldn't do the tandem bumping thing. NASCAR was trying to stop them from doing that. They were trying different stuff. And they said, "All right, no bumping." And that one of the most boring Talladega races I've ever seen. It was just like that. Whole race, they ran nose to tail. Nobody tried passing anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now, being a racer myself, that's comfortable right there.
Yeah.
You don't want to get into situations where you can get wrecked. Some people like to go watching racing for the wrecks. I like to go watch it for the racing.
No, there's been races that have gone green the whole way. I mean, great
Best races you'll ever watch, in my opinion.
Yeah. So with Nate Balser retiring, Oscar Ramos has got a position. Looks like Mark Snyder will gain a position from Nate. Guillermo Sanchez. These guys are a few laps down, but, as cars drop out, this is a long season. It's worth staying out there, even if you're maybe not, the car might have a little bit of damage, might not perform at tip-top shape. if you're able to keep running laps and cars in front of you, even though you're 16 laps behind, if the guy retires, at 16 more laps, you're going to get that spot. It's an extra 5 points.
Championships could be won by 1 point,
Yep.
2 points, and you've got to. Although I never, in my racing career, never did what they call points racing, and what that means is I never concern myself. Well, I've got to finish here. I've got to do that. I go to the assumption that if I go out and do the best I can, that's the maximum points I'm going to get, and hopefully that's enough. But the same idea, you don't want to give up because of that. I think we're back under caution again.
Yep, I was going to ask you, what does your GNL TV say for total cautions on the night? My game crashed, so it's reset itself.
A minute.
I'm showing 4, but that's 4 since I reconnected, so
we
it's
got
going to be 9.
9 yellow flags with 25 laps of caution, under caution.
Okay. Somebody in the YouTube chat was asking that, how many cautions from Buddha in glasses? 9.
We have the wonderful program for that. You just got to get the co-host to.
And 40 is the window. Ken confirmed, right, from Dizza. Thanks for the work there, Dizza. He's talking to Ryzen on track. I mean, we could bring somebody up and chat about it now, but we have already got the answer. So, yeah, we had the power to do that before, but sometimes we just don't know when to be quiet.
Well, a lot of times what I will do is hook a wheel up, go out there, run with the guys, just to try to get an idea. And I do apologize. I got home, long day today. I had some traveling to do, and got back, got everything going, and instead of going out and practicing with the guys, I was more concerned about, do we have all the cars? Do I have everything right? Just trying to learn as much about the Maverick Racing Series as I could in the short period of time. Because, like I said, you've done broadcasts here. It's all new to me. So
55-mile-an-hour speed limit following Keith Hughes onto the pits.
So from our information given to us from Ryzen Baker through his friend, we know now they can go the different distance from here.
Yep. 40 was the window.
So Ryzen's taking 4 tires.
Full service.
Yeah, four tires. He's lost a lot of track position. Not that he's been up in the front off and on most of the night. I believe he might have been our outside pole sitter. I don't remember now.
Ryzen was the pole.
He was the pole sitter. That's right. So he's quick enough. He's, like I said, we've seen him just basically due to caution. Some people pit, some people don't.
He pitted from second, and you said took
4 tires and fuel.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if he can make his way back up through there. Bear in mind, everybody, you're not going to do it with a single car. You're going to have to either be around people that can get you up there, or push the right people to get your butt up there. But
McIntyre, I was just looking at what was going on with McIntyre. He was all over the place. It looked like an internet glitch. So they're giving him his spot back. Car just sort of disappeared, did a flip-flop, came back somewhere else. Teleportation not allowed, but they will allow him to take his space back where he was. No teleporting.
Somebody was kind of working my way from Ryzen Baker up through the field here to try to see who stayed out and took over the lead. And I heard somebody clutching.
Oh, man, there's always people clutching. Crazy. So we'll see at the line, Ryzen Baker went down to get service. He said full tires service at the line here from 2nd to 18th.
2 lucky dogs. Well, at least we know that the 2 lucky dogs are Mark Schneider and Oscar Ramos Jr.
Oscar Ramos, showing him 2 minutes behind, so he must have taken his lap back already.
Yep, they're him and Mark are actually running around right now. I kind of like that. Not a big fan of red, but I like that Vodafone car. It's kind of cool looking rig.
It is. I do like that one. That's number 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar Ramos
And
Jr.
it's if you've ever seen the old back then, I'm a McLaren fan. I love Formula One, everything about it, the engineering side of it. Everything is really cool. I've always been a McLaren fan, and there used to be those chrome and orange Vodafone cars. I love those colors.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. I don't even really know it, but I know that paint scheme. Yeah. Such a good one.
Of course, some people aren't going to like it, but I'm not a Ferrari fan.
Now, why would you be? They won so much stuff when Schumacher was there. People just get burned out on it.
You got to think, is anybody going to beat Max Verstappen? That guy is a talent. Although they did lose Adrian Newey, the masterful guy that's a wizard with the air.
Ulysses Sandoval.
He's our pole.
Leading the pack. Has led one lap. There's... Oh, yeah, he did lead that one.
That outside line formed up really, really good and got a heck of a push.
But they're going to railroad him now. He dropped right down to the bottom. They're all driving around Ulysses.
Alex Moe was right on the bumper. Again, I got to get used to the names here. It's Gutierrez. Get right?
Gutierrez.
Yep.
Yep.
He was right on the bumper, and he just pushed him right out front. Alex Moe's got Adam Cole right behind him. D1 pulled to the high side there. And
yeah,
the talent of Alex Moe with these guys down the bottom, there's a lot of cars down there. Getting closer towards near the end where people are going to start, you're going to start seeing people kind of working those moves a little bit more. You're not going to ride as much. If you're just picking somebody because of know him, but Denny Carroll back to the pack, you're not going to get to the front if you don't start trying. So you're going to start to see people kind of form up a little bit. Now, where we've seen the top line be the better line, now the bottom line is what's doing it. They're getting separated up a little bit here.
A lot of different lead changes tonight. Yellow flag is up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, get separated up, but I think we're under caution again. Alex Moe out front. I don't know if that's the first laps. Yeah, first lap he's led all night. Not uncommon for Alex Moe to not be up near the front until the end.
At the end, yeah, it's just like clockwork.
One of them guys. You just count him out, and next thing you know, wait a minute, where'd he come from?
Yep.
One of the better guys you could ever race against, as far as racing next to and everything. Worst guys try to beat. Guys just talented.
Oh, that's weird. Having an issue again finding the point of caution.
I didn't see anything going on. I was kind of focused at that time to which line was going to do better.
I don't see an accident of any kind, actually. Lights come on, the same thing. I always focus on the pace car. I find that's the best way to find the caution. You go in the replay, you back up, you watch the pace car. Once the lights come on, these coming out to stop everybody. But something happened there, and I can't find it. As we watch to see what will happen on pit entrance, you probably won't get too many takers because most of these guys pit last time around.
I think you see We got one back there.
A few at the back, yeah. The guys in the back, that makes sense. Ulysses will stay out and take the track position.
Alex Mullen, one of the first ones to come down, take 4 tires. I mean, we don't know how important tires are here. I know that normally Daytona is a little bit more harder on tire wear than Talladega.
Right.
So maybe, I mean, if the tires are that important, get
And
down
you're-
there, get tires, get fuel, you know.
Yeah. And you're sitting in the back half. You're already in traffic anyway. You might as well come down and get some fresh tires. Won't need gas if they pitted before. Save a little bit of time on pit road. Give the gas man the night off now. Everybody should have enough fuel easy to get to the end of this thing. Lap number 92 of 125.
Pitted. I was just kind of see if Mark Snyder is going to start. Yeah, he's going to start working his way around because he's going to be one of the lucky dogs. That should put him back on the lead lap.
That's a great question. That's a great question in the YouTube chat. I was just reading the chat there. Why are the replays so deep fried? When I turn on the replay screen, I boost the contrast.
Oh,
I like the visual of the replay to look a little bit different from the live view, so visually you just kind of know something's changed.
Gotta watch
Even
them
though the
guys
word
that are-
replay
gotta watch
comes
them.
up on screen. But
You gotta watch them controller guys. You know, they try to make things fancy and whatever.
yeah.
That's his job. I'm just here to make you guys hopefully understand what we got going on in front of us.
Yeah.
But that
All the
should put
fancy
Max
colors.
Snyder back on the lead lap. One of the 2 Kias in the
Mark
field
Snyder,
tonight.
yeah. He's the
Benjamin Snyder was the other Kia that unfortunately got caught up in an early incident and wasn't able to finish the race.
Greg Palmer in the 022 has to run the 022 because we've got. Oh, who runs the other 22? I can't remember. Norman. Yeah, is it Norman? Yes, it is. 22 Michael Norman. Yep. Seth's co-host over at FRN, the Flat Out Racing Network.
Yeah, I actually run over to RTG now on Thursday nights. They
Yep.
do that, I believe, every Thursday.
They've been doing that for a very long time. FRN's been calling the Talladega Challenge at RTG.
If you're not busy on a Thursday night, you want to watch some more racing, they basically just do super speedway racing, so it'd be basically what you're looking at tonight. Go watch Seth and Mike. They do a great job.
They do, yeah. I'd never really heard Norman up until recently. I don't know if Seth has used him a lot or maybe just recently or how that works, but it's cool. He's got different people in there sometimes, and Norman's really good.
And that's another, the Thursday night with RTG is another kind of situation like this where they actually do qualifying on a different server to get in there because there's so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. There's so many people that like super speedway racing, but it's not for me. It brings a lot of people out.
Yeah, it's exciting on a broadcast too, right? High speeds all day.
Yep.
It's just a different style of racing, like you said. You know, you're at the whim of the track, pretty much.
Alex Moe's leading us back to the green.
Do I need to check to see who is driving the 55? I think it's a duck. It is a duck. Nick Gunther is a duck. Okay, that's fine. Back to our regularly scheduled program. 94 laps in, I just noticed that a duck is driving the 55.
Yes! I see that now. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, look on the live. I get the free cam down in there. Take a look at him.
I didn't see that when you said that. I'm
So
going,
funny.
what's he talking about?
Yeah.
actually following Adam Cole right now, and he's right behind him, and it is. It looks almost. It is a duck driving that car. That is very cool.
Yep.
Alex Moe.
Nick the Duck Gunther.
Yeah. Tate Dorsey's got the bottom line going pretty good. They don't have as many cars as they do on the high side, but just seem to be really getting it done, but they're keeping up with that high side groove.
Yeah, and Alex Moe did lead that last lap there in that 48.
Not by
much. Yeah, not by much. What's the time differential? 0.017. That's how close they were at the line. It's amazing the elastic banding effect, like how you're in, you're out. It's just like, where'd that car go? Oh, there he is. That's just how it seems to work.
I think they just got a little bit more cars on that high side. It's going to kind of prevail. Like, as we always say, well, that's going to change. Just give it a lap. People move from, as we always say, you're not gonna make it forward playing follow leader. So you've got to make the moves that it's going to move you up there. We're getting closer down to it.
Yep.
Pretty close to about 29 laps. Now it's time to start figuring out and jockeying your way towards the front.
Panacea on the apron, right to the back of the pack from 7th. Oh, maybe having internet problems. Just disappeared there for about 5 seconds. That's a shame.
Some of the guys that I've been talking about off and on tonight, just basically because I do know them. Randy Waugh down the third car on the bottom, third car back, and he's followed closely by Greg Palmer and then Danny Carroll. They formed back up. As we talked about before, those are three drivers that I know that will work well together. Not that they're going to be the fastest again. It's just I know that them guys work well together. Still familiarizing myself with a lot of these new drivers.
Yeah, and deep in the race like this, it's no surprise to find those guys
finding each
seeking each other out. Yeah,
they're digging.
It's still anybody's race. All these guys are up to top speed. It's been a fantastic race thus far. Thanks again, everybody who's watching this thing. We're up to 320 hits. That's a lot of people, especially on a Tuesday night.
Tate Dorsey on the bottom side in that Ford Fusion Valvoline number 6. He's getting it done. I mean, he's not getting out in front of him, but he's got that bottom line. Like I said, bottom line's going to get in better, come off a little bit later, and he's getting into the corner with it. He's got a great group of guys behind him. They're running really nice and tight.
And with the 0-3 of Solomon having to back out of the race, and Dorsey was on deck to cover the spot. And here he is in the front of this pack late in the race. For 7 laps to go here. 26 laps to go.
Now you've got, trying to count cars here, pretty much equal amount of cars on the bottom than you do at the top. So now it's interesting to see, is that going to help out? Is that, see that bottom, I really think they're fairly equal, literally depending on how many cars you have in your line and how tight of a line you guys can run together.
That's the thing. It's the consistency of the line, too. If the line breaks a little bit, like there's a gap there a little bit, They
did on the bottom side, but the advantage was you had Randy Waugh right up under the rear bumper of Keith Hudgens. I mean, he was pushing him right into the corner. He didn't push him in the corner. He was pushing him all the way down that straightaway right to the corner. As hard as he could, trying to keep that momentum going. And that's what's making the difference on that bottom side. Those 3 cars that are leading that bottom side are just running really, really tight. They're pushing each other really good down the straightaways.
Interesting thing I just noticed here, too. Every single one of those top 5 cars has led at least 1 lap. Adam Cole, 1 lap. Keith Hughes, 15 laps. Chad Hare, 2 laps. Tate Dorsey, 1 lap. And Alex has 8 led.
First driver out of them that hasn't led, Randy Waugh.
And bonus points for all of them.
Yep.
So far, the lap leader, Denny Carroll, with 24 laps led. Who do you have for fastest lap on the night?
Oh,
I'm showing Jack Merkel, but my game crashed, so that's not going to be true. It might be. Jack Merkel, 192.5 mile an hour.
You're gonna make me look here because that's I just saw, but the problem is when they go by through, the thing changes.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
saw a one.
Oh wow.
Boy, Alex Moe, a bunch of them just went whipping around on the back stretch.
Yeah, I saw somebody flicker in the middle of that pack.
So I saw a 189.5 mile an hour, and I lost it. Oh, wait a minute, with the fastest?
Should be at the top of GNL.
Oh, yeah, see that? I'm learning this.
The very, very top. That'll tell you. Fastest lap.
Fastest lap at a 46.773 at 192.560 miles per hour.
Okay, you got the same one. Cool. So here we are in replay mode here. Yeah, Mo. So it's Mo. Let's see here.
Be the 24 of Jack Merkel, the DuPont Chevrolet. I'm looking at a pace card. You got to get Chi Sean out of there because I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It was smoky.
Oh, the 6 of Tate Dorsey looked like he threw a late block there on the 48. The 48 had a run on the outside. And the 6 changed lanes.
We're going to be about 20 laps. 20-21 laps when we go back to green. No fuel is probably not going to be an issue. Tires might. And, anybody want to place the bets? Because you just sit there and you look at the top 10. You got Austin the Plant in 11th. Austin could very easily make it way back up to the front,
So Tate
within that 20 laps.
Tate is pitting. And he might be taking full service. Is that maybe serving a penalty for causing the yellow?
That was something that I didn't ask.
He is. He's taking full service. He may be serving. He may be serving a penalty.
We didn't ask Benjamin about that, whether or not that's what's happened.
No, Alex is also in there. He's the one who got spun out.
You got time. You want to bring him up and ask him that question?
Sure, let's do it.
Benjamin Snyder, Rod Weston up in the booth. Got a question for you about how things go here.
Yes.
So, if a driver causes an incident, do they have to do a drive-through in full service?
They do not, but they do have to take an EOLL if it is the first yellow they cause of the night. If they cause a second yellow, they will be forced to park for the night. Failure to do so will result in ejection from the race server.
Okay.
Perfect.
Just kind of some leagues, have different ways of serving penalties, and we were just kind of wondering, how that worked out.
Thank you.
Don't thank you.
Thank you. Well, so there you go. I guess it was just a scheduled 4-tire stop for Dorsey. Losing all that track position.
Just bear in mind, folks, by the end, with about 2 to 3, maybe 4 races we'll give it, we'll know a whole lot more about what's going on here.
Yeah, like I said, I have my rules all queued up, and then I can't pull it on the tablet. I click on it, and it's the thumbnail. I'm like, I don't want to see the thumbnail. I want to load the PDF.
I'll study. I did see them, didn't go through them. I will study them a little bit more so I know.
Rulebook also hasn't changed in a couple of years.
Yep.
So they're running fairly. There's little tweaks here and there, but no major changes.
We've got to ask our viewers there. We're about 20 laps into this. Place your bets. Who's going to win this?
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, I'm looking at guys like, even like, what is it, the 74 there of Dunn LaPrade. He's been up the front all night.
Yeah.
You know, he's led a pile of laps, but we got 17 laps led by him. That blue and yellow car there, the 74. It's just
Baker.
been there the whole day.
Adam Cole.
Yep.
Keith Hudgens have all been up there at different times, but most of them guys have been kind of floating around up there. Seth Cole's been up there off and on, and then I think a lot of the drivers, they've been up there and then kind of dropped back just due to different pit strategies. Some of the guys, like Reisenbaker's been one of the ones that seems to work his way back to the front every time he kind of gets put back there a little bit. Currently running, I think, in about the 8th position on the outside. He's one I think you might want to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
There again, like this racing really does fall into the line of depends on who your friends are. I mean, you could have the fastest car out there. If someone's not going to go with you, not going to do you much good.
Well, and you could have friends, the same friends in all kinds of different races, but then it comes to a certain track, maybe you abandon those guys. You know, like it just depends. The track can dictate all kinds of things. It's like, why didn't you stick with me, man? I'm like, well, you're no good on this track. Why am I going to follow you? You're horrible.
Racers are a selfish bunch sometimes.
Yep. You're going to follow the guy that can get around the best.
As Mike Skinner always would say, I'd wreck my mother to win a race.
Here you go.
Here we go. Back green. Keith Hutchins out front. Adam Cole. Nate Gunther. Don LaPratt.
Keith
one of the guys
Hughes.
who's been up there. Keith
You said
Hughes.
Hutchins.
Did I say Hutchins?
Yes, you did.
You gotta get used to these guys.
And
You
now
got a
your
good run on
leader, Bill Smith.
Yeah.
Again, a nice launch on that bottom line. And basically 2 car leads out in front there. Got the Duck in the 55 moves up to the high line. Nick the Duck.
Danny Carroll there on the bottom really doesn't have a whole lot of help.
Yeah, he's got 20 laps to go here, so we'll see. Lots of time to get that line moving. Merkel in the 24 back there on that low line as well. Hopefully they can get up to the 41 and help him out a little bit.
Merkel with the fastest lap of the night so far.
Yeah. And that's an average lap speed, too. With the 192.5 from stripe to stripe.
That's moving pretty good, seeing how everybody else is based around how they were. I see them really run around 189-ish. A pretty good lap.
Yeah. Just the right,
He
probably got
abandons
the right
Danny.
bumps at the right times, and it all adds up, you know?
He abandons Danny Carroll and he went to go back to the high side. The high side's right now has got the momentum. There's the low line there. You've got, I think that's the 003. Yeah, Bianca is kind of got down below. Oop! Jose Austin LaPlante around. Don't know if there's anybody else involved. It looks like there's 2 or 3 cars.
Yeah, looks like in the infield there.
Kind of looked like a bad bump gone, just a push gone wrong.
Sometimes it's the smallest thing in the wrong spot, like these guys can take pretty good hits, but going into a turn, halfway through a turn, like you can still bump people in the corners. But sometimes.
Benny Carroll keeps trying to drop for that bottom line, but he just doesn't have the help to do it. Going to try to see, I think you probably see him try to pull back up on that. Yep, he was able to sneak up in there.
Yep.
Getting down to that point where, like I keep saying, you got to start working your way to the front. I see, why some of the drivers are popping down there and doing that. But you can't do it too early, and you got to have help.
So much luck involved in races like this, especially long races. The 1X is a big deal too. Different fuel strategy. Trying to be in the right spot, the right time, but it all comes down to the final lap. You got to get to the final lap first of all. Keep the car as clean as possible.
125 laps. 125 laps at Daytona. That's a long race. Some of the ones that we've done, they're only usually about 67 laps or so. 125 laps is actually quite a long race for at Daytona.
Yep. That's why they call it the Fun Coast 500, because it's 500 kilometers.
See Ulysses Sandoval down there at the bottom of the track. I'm not sure whether he's got issues with the car and he's just trying to finish the race, trying to stay out of the way. Bottom line started to form.
Yeah, this top line too is curious because everybody's just going to stay there. You know, who jumps down? That's when we're going to see who's with who, you know, especially just in this race. Maybe not going into the next race, totally different group of people. I'm curious about that 74 and that 61. Like, they're not really leaving each other.
Jackson Brown is actually making a little headway on the bottom there. He's got a few different, cars are getting a little better. Alex Moe's back there. He's got Denny Carroll. Guys are getting a little racier, though. The 68, that's the one I was looking for. Joseph Landy Avalon, I hope I said that right. They're starting to make up a little headway at the bottom. They're not doing it at a quick rate. They don't have a lot of cars, but it's getting, they're starting to slowly but surely get a few more cars, and they're starting to work their way up. Now the thing you got to keep an eye on is they look at this. Right there, I just started to see him do it. I figured he was going to be, Anthony McCurry was going to come down, and he see that line coming, so he moved down. You just got to figure the guys in front of him, how many are going to come down to try to get into that line to get out front?
But do they even want that low line? We're thinking, coming down, protect the bottom, but the top line seems to be the more consistent one.
Ooh, gee, that was a heck of a save by Tyson Baker. I don't know if he just got a little tap, he got a little sideways, saved it, never lost any momentum or time. That's pretty darn good.
No big deal going sideways at a 200 mile an hour.
No. Breeze.
Yep, piece of cake. Another day at the office. All these guys will be able to make it to the end. There's no fuel issues anymore. Tires, most of them got brand new ones. So there's no more pit strategy. This is just an all-out race. I can't imagine anybody's clutching. You should have enough gas to get to the end without having a clutch.
Biggest thing I'm seeing is they didn't make enough headway down at the bottom, so people are just jumping down and then abandoning it, jumping down and then abandoning it.
I was wondering when Don LaPrade was going to do that. That 74 has just been up there, like we said, up in the front all day long. He's biding his time on that high line. Decided to tuck down in front of Christian Torres in that 4. Is Torres willing to stay behind him? And you push that guy to the wind, you're going to pull yourself up a lot of positions also.
Well, you got to think about it. If he doesn't win, got to do the best you can.
Yep.
If you end up pushing, LaPrade to the front, it doesn't win you a race. But if you can hopefully finish in the top 3,
that's what I say. Yeah, you might not push him. You might not win the race, but you also might gain 5 or 6 spots.
Yep.
So maybe it's not about winning; it's just about getting some positions.
24 race season.
Keith Hughes still in the lead. Gunther behind him, Cole behind him, and Ryzen Baker behind him. And then we get into the 2 wide situations. Alex Moe right next to Don LaPrade. Lap number 114 of 125. So right here at the stripe, we will be within 10 to go. 5 to go is the point of no return. So 10 to go is no race back. Or no race back until 10 to go. So they will race back with 10 to go. And then after 5 to go, I think it's the point of no return, where no matter what happens, they don't go yellow.
Not making up the ground there, but I'm really surprised. Mine, 10 laps to go. Nobody's coming from that high line, kind of getting down there in front of LaPrade. But I think you might see that happen a little bit more here as we get further on into this.
Yeah.
The end of it.
We're still 9 away here, so That's a lot. It's an eternity on a track this big.
But there again, the 5 drivers that we have, pretty much 5, 6 drivers that we have on the outside of them, the only one that I know anything about is Alex Moe. And, we don't know if them guys are, buddies that want us to stay together, or, are they, out there for themselves.
If you are back there in, like, say 6th or 7th position, and now they're back on the high line again, then we're 3 wide.
Pratt just moved back up to the high side. He's not making up any ground down there. Oh!
I could sense something going on back there.
Yeah, 2 cars kind of airborne and flipping. I don't know if that... Yep, that will bring out the caution.
Yep.
Remember, they're going to race back.
But they're... Yep. Wow.
It's getting crazy up front. Blocking.
Yes. Everybody looking for a hole right here. Keith Hughes was able to throw that block. We're going to go back and look at that. Hughes was slamming the door right off the hinges multiple times. Wow. He got it. Okay.
It'll be 3 wide at the line.
And they'll run around to the back straightaway here. We got to get a helicopter view of Hughes shutting that door about 7 times in 3 seconds. Yeah, he closes the door there, closes the door there. Gunther had a run on him, but Keith just... That's the widest I've ever seen a car. Held him back.
5, 6 laps, maybe?
And the administrators are in control when we go green again, so that they're definitely going to make sure that we can run it, if it's possible. Green to the finish.
I think that's going to get interesting, because now it's time to go for the money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Don't forget there's a cash purse up for grabs.
$100 for first, 30 for second, 20 for third, and a trophy for first place. So, don't you want to be that guy? I mean, like we said, more important to be the champion than to win the race. But if you've got a chance, you're going to go for it.
Oh yeah. Stay locked on the front pack here.
Oh, buddy, went in the front. Not going to be able to make it up near the front there.
Sorry, say again?
I say nobody's went down pit road.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't think so, yeah.
I think Randy Waugh is going to be our lucky dog. I see him going around. Yet he's the first car 1 lap down. Ulysses Sandoval is 7 laps down.
I'm showing Ulysses Sandoval has retired due to tire puncture. So he had a flat. Joseph Landy Pavlon in the 68 out due to an accident.
But we still have 26 cars running. I can't believe these guys are going to let that Honda win, though. Sole Honda on the field. I think he's led the most laps. Second is Denny Carroll.
Let's see what happened to Landy Pavlon here. He's caught in that 3 wide situation. Yeah, he got caught up in the catch fence and tore the transaxle and the flux capacitor right out of that car.
Doesn't run well without the flux capacitor.
No. Yeah, and in that state, it cannot make 1.21 gigawatts.
Now you look at these lines in the front. Now, from what little I've seen, the 3 cars on the bottom, starting Keith Hudgens, Alex Moe,
Hughes.
And
you keep saying Keith Hudgens.
Why do I keep?
I don't know.
Hughes, Keith Hughes. Sorry, Keith. I apologize. Alex Moe and Ryzen Baker. I think that's I just think that's going to be a better line at the start.
The low line, yeah.
Adam Cole, Nate Gunther,
Yeah, man.
LaPratt have been right there. Just.
Well, in LaPratt, you got
thing.
Torres. Torres has been up there all night too.
I just think that bottom line, if they can get a better run, is going to be the line. And I'm pretty sure you'll probably see him try to get out there and get up in front of them guys. But I don't know. We'll see.
And the rules of this league too, within 5 to go, it's no holds barred. So I mean, they will not pull a yellow out in the last 5 laps. So it's go time.
Lights are out on the pace car.
Yep. And
we're
we'll
gonna
be within 5.
Yeah, we're going to see probably around 5 laps of some pretty intense races.
It's going to be a war.
Yeah.
To say the least. Keith Hughes will lead this pack back with Adam Cole to the outside of
Austin
him.
LaPlante's still back there. He's still in it. He could be our winner. I mean, it could.
The sea could part, and he could drive right up the middle.
Yep. Seth Cole, Denny Carroll, the guys that we know. Now I know you know more of these other guys than I do, but we're kind of mired in the middle of the pack there. Any one of these guys could win it. It just depends. Of course, Randy Waugh just got back on the lead lap. I would imagine he went down, filled it up with fuel, 4 brand new tires.
Yep.
Why not? You don't lose anything. Could be a factor. They always, the true truth will say to you, take a drink of that water, tighten up them belts. It's about to get interesting.
Yeah.
Pace cars off.
John St. John.
Keith Hughes leading us to the green. I got it right that time.
You got it right that time.
And as I thought, that line got a better run at the start, and they are a lot tighter.
And they are 3 wide flanking up the middle there.
Something we haven't seen much, 3 wide here.
No.
We know from experience like of the Talladega Nights track, 3rd groove could actually be the fastest groove when they got 3 wide. Mainly because it kind of it takes the ability away from the cars on the bottom to be able to use the whole track.
Well, and the Talladega seems to be a little bit wider than Daytona, so it feels a little bit more comfortable doing it. Here, it's very claustrophobic. You can definitely pull it off, but very claustrophobic.
It'd be interesting to see Reisenbaker was the first one out of them 3. I knew he was going to do that. If he was going to try to get up in front of the cars that are coming.
Oh, Torres bailed on him.
Oh, yeah.
And
didn't work out very well.
This is now the point of return.
Keith Hughes. Is that right? Keith Hughes and Alex Moe went right up to the top side and grabbed him again.
We got Baker and Oscar Ramos is up there now. He's been at the back at the start of the race. And now look where he is, row 2. And that red number 5. Torres. Yeah, so you got Hughes, Moe, Baker on the outside.
They're running really close, really tight nose to tail.
Yeah.
The bottom groove is not, like I said, they're going to make a little bit more time on the inside, going into the corner, but they're not going to make an exit of the corner. But that high side is so tight together.
Yeah.
They're not for their, I got to remember names. Torres is not really running, he's more focused, like trying to side draft, I think. And it's not going to do him any good. He's got to get a little too high there.
There they go. Green will stay
It's going to be close to whether or not I think this was going to be for the race. It's going to be close. We don't know until...
No, they won't bring the yellow out. Within 5, they will not bring the yellow out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they call that the point of no return. Yeah, it'll be green right to the end.
Yep.
Hughes is able to keep this position. This is crazy, man. He's got Moe behind him, Baker behind him.
Got to look at the guys behind him. I think they're kind of more at the point where let's not get it too wide. Let's not get these guys, the rest of the field up to us. Their hope is that they can get kind of a breakaway, as it were. So, and then Then when it gets down to it, you'll start to fight for it.
Yeah.
Because
Lots to
they're
go
running nose to tail really good. Now, you get down to 2 to go, maybe at 2 to go or the last lap, you might see Alex Moe or Rising Bakers decide that now it's time to make the move. But there again, 2 goes with them. You can't make that move too soon. You can't make it too late. You know, that's the beauty of super speedway racing. Where I really suck at it is that so you don't know when to make that move.
Well, Christian Torres is making the right moves, but nobody's going with him. That's the problem.
Right.
He's making the moves, but nobody's seeing it.
He's not lost much for position there. Now in that backstretch is starting to show up. But
now
Adam
they're going
Cole
to
down to the
leapfrog
bottom.
him. Yep.
Followed by the Anthony McCurry. Denny Carroll behind them. Now Denny goes back to the high side because they weren't really making up the ground they needed to. That's where it gets frustrating when you're about in that area where Denny is, and you're trying to figure out how to get by these guys, and it's just so hard to do.
Lap number 125 and 125.
Keith Hughes has got the catbird seat. He can use that momentum, go up high just like they just did.
Oh my goodness.
Just a minute.
Row
just
2
a
is
little
gone.
bit too much.
Row 2 saw that hamburgers were on sale in the infield.
And Ford get a little bit too aggressive. Christian Torres back there. We're coming to the end of it. Can he make? Oh, he's trying. He's going to the bottom.
He needs help,
Carroll
though.
on the top.
He's not going to get it. Wow.
Not going to happen.
Great finish, though, I tell you, man.
Yeah.
Torres was right there. Hughes was able to hold everybody off for a long time. He held that lead the last little while. That was a great run by him.
Torres got second. Denny Carroll got third. It's pretty cool. I mean, we didn't know. We knew Hughes was in the catbird seat, and all he had to do was just kind of play the sides right. I think he did the right move, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, and some crazy good blocking. The blocking that he was pulling was wild.
Why don't we grab our third place finisher for the night and get him up here and give him a chance to tell us about his night. Denny Carroll, Rod Weston, up in the booth, buddy. Third place finish tonight.
Race of survival.
Yeah. We were just talking about you, actually. I was talking about how you were where you were back there. You were probably about fifth back on the outside line going, it's got to be discouraging trying to figure out how you're going to, get your way up through there when the lines aren't really moving all that well, and seas kind of parted for you. You're able to get yourself back up there, and like I said, finishing third for the night. That's not too bad. That's going to give you some $20 in your pocket.
Well, I mean, I did good most of the race, and when I got that one caution come out, people's not supposed to slow down until they get to the turn 2, and they wrecked me right after we crossed the start-finish line because they wasn't supposed to slow down there, but they did. And that put me all the way in the back, and it really hurt me for a while.
You seem to be working a little bit. I was talking a little bit about how you and Randy, since you and I and Randy all got together doing the Mega Marathon stuff, that I knew that you guys got to the point where you started working a little bit more together, unlike kind of like what you used to do with the levels there with over Talladega Nights. So I see that you guys kept trying to get together a little bit all through the night with Greg Palmer, and it kind of worked out at places, but not all the time.
Well, I was working with Randy and Nate and Greg Palmer, and I think Garland was trying to work some with us, and that one wreck after the caution come out, it just split us all up. It was, I don't know, it's just a race of nutrition from there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I made it through those wrecks.
Sometimes the seas part and you just get the luckiest move you can ever make,
I told Randy on that one before the last one, I said, I don't know how we missed that, Randy, because it happened right dead in front of us. Anyway,
Yeah,
I was glad I finished the race and we got a podium. And Randy said, "Hey, Corey,
Yeah, that's good. Got to have a mounted Corey. Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it. It's good to hear you and Blaine on here again. I ain't got to watch one of y'all's broadcasts in a little while."
Yeah,
We
it was
haven't
good
done one
stuff
for a
man.
while.
It was a great race. Yeah.
I think the last
You
one
want to
we
watch something? Go ride in my car through about 4 or 5 of those wrecks. I don't know how I missed them. I mean, it's just a luck.
We're gonna congratulate you on the 3rd place finish. Puts $20 in your pocket. 3rd place points. That's gonna help out. We know you did lead some laps tonight. Gonna give you the floor. Yeah, thank whoever you want to thank, so we can get on to the next guy.
All right. Well, I had a fast car. I just lost my help. But, I'll say hey to my family in Florida, Uncle Eddie Ray and Wanda, my other kids, and all of my wife, my kids, everybody that puts up with me racing. And I thank Ben for putting this on. He does a lot of work to keep these things going. And thanks, Ben. And thank you and Blaine for putting it on.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for participating in this thing. How much of a pain was it qualifying for this? Because there was a lot of people that wanted to get into this race.
Well, when we qualified the other night, I usually qualify decent here. I wasn't real worried about it. Hell, I come off pit road, backed my car into the wall, and didn't qualify. I had to race my way in.
Wow. Yeah.
That's why I didn't get to qualify tonight, because I was one of the cars that had to race my way in.
Oh, okay. So you had to sit out on the qualifying. I just figured a lot of people opted out of that, but yeah, I forgot about that. You got to go to the back.
Oh yeah, they opted me out.
We're learning more about how the rules, regs, and whatever goes on here. But tonight's, is an interesting, big, good learning experience for us. But
yeah, I see on your stats there, I led 24 laps. That ain't bad.
no, you did pretty good.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I can't wait to watch it. And who won? The 82. Good job,
82.
bud.
Yep.
That's Denny Carroll. As I said, one of the guys I've raced many a times with, and had a lot of fun racing with. Congratulations, Denny, and we'll get on to the next guy. Good job, bud.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Denny. You too.
Second place finish for the night, Kristen Torres in the 4 Chevrolet Orioles car. Can't go wrong with Orioles. Congratulations on a 2nd place finish.
Thank you so much. I didn't know what I do to make the 2nd place, because it was so difficult to pass here. The outside line was the right line. It was the fast line. I
kind of watched you in that last little bit. You kept trying to go into the bottom and trying to get people to help you out, and it just seemed like it didn't work. You'd go back to the high side, then you go back down to the bottom, and you were just trying to find, like as I said earlier in the broadcast, you're not going to go forward if you play follow the leader. So it ended up working out pretty good for you.
Yeah, because it was really. I don't know how to say this, because my English is very poor, but I was trying to look what was the right line, because I was trying to make Dylan Hart's move, because in one moment I saw the outside line check up too much, and then I had the momentum to go to the inside line, so that was why I was trying to make some moves to went to the front, but I was trying also to work with my partner Oscar Ramos and the number 81 car Santiago Gutierrez, and it was so difficult because it was a lot of wrecks, and some of my partners wrecked in some cautions, so I was alone. In the last 5 laps, I was really alone. I was trying to block as clean as possible. It was very difficult because it was too loose on the couple laps of the race. It was too loose, and I don't know how to make the 2nd place. Really,
man,
it was such parted for you too, which helped. But
it was so fun to watch, because we're watching this thing, and you were up there for a lot of the night too, and just every time you'd make a move, and then it would be working, and then everything changes so fast, and it's like, oh man, Christian Torres, like, he's still there, you know, like, we gotta just focus on this. I like to try to cover the whole field, but when it gets down to like those last 30-40 laps, I try to stay up front, and just watching you guys do what you do is amazing, and avoiding the wrecks, especially on the last couple laps when like just complete rows of drivers were going off into the grass. You're still there, dude. But yeah, and don't apologize for bad English, because we only speak English. You can speak 2 languages. People always apologize for their bad English. I'm like, yeah, but I can't speak Spanish at all. So we should apologize for not being able to be multilingual.
And so he's one of our drivers that were from outside of the United States. And where are you from, Christian?
I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Okay, you're the Argentinian one. I knew we went through and talked about how many of the drivers that were from, outside of the United States, and I wasn't exactly sure where you were from, but that's cool.
Yeah, the South America is like really, it's represented pretty good in this league. Because you said Oscar Ramos is your partner. How big is your team?
Yes, we have a league, the NASCAR High Speed League, with Oscar Ramos. Some of the guys that participate today are in this league. Also, Santiago Gutierrez, Fran Gomez. Sometimes he make 1 or 2 races for a year, but he's still there. With Oscar Ramos, we're trying to make the Cup League and the Trucks League on Mondays and Wednesday, and we try to race here on Tuesday. So that's why we moved the dates. That league, the NASCAR High Speed League, run with the Cup mode and the Trucks mode. So we have a group here to work, and we tried to make a plan for that race, for this race, but it was so difficult. You had to be too aggressive to make moves to advance. So we don't know. We don't know how we could make it at the end, because Oscar Ramos was in a moment was 2 laps down, 3 laps down. It was involved in a wreck in some of the big ones. I don't know how many big ones we have today, but it was in at least it was in 2 wrecks, and he still could find a way to make on the lead lap. So that was really really amazing for him.
Well, that's actually pretty good. I love to see you guys come in race, from out of the United States.
You guys are busy.
Yeah, I know I've raced with people from Australia, Japan, all over the place in different leagues. So that is very, very cool. We're gonna give you the floor. Anybody you want to thank, sponsors, friends, family, for letting you come and play. The floor is yours. Tell us all about it.
Well, I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Maxi Moreno, Marlon Orlando, and Fabricio Molina, because they make me this car, the Oreos Chevrolet. This car, it has maybe 8 or 9 years old. So this car was made in 2016-17. So I had this car for a long time. I couldn't use it in 5 or 6 years. So this is the first time in a long time that I could use this Oreos Chevrolet car. I have 2 more. So for next week in Las Vegas, I will try to use another paint scheme. And I like to thank Oscar Ramos and Santiago Gutierrez and also the rest, because we work together. We try as best as possible to be here, to be contented for the race. So really, really thankful. And all the people who know me, because I have a channel, El Partner. So that's why some people know me in that channel. So thank you everybody to come here to see the race, to watch the race, and I hope you enjoy the all race. And,
It
and
was fabulous.
one more comment. Uy, 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 partner! That was for my Latin Americans partners.
All right, that was our second place finish tonight. Christian George, great job. Looking forward to see the new car next week. Thanks for coming up there, and good job, bud.
Thank you so much. Good night, guys.
Thank you, Christian. Have a good night, man. Good talking to you.
Now we bring to the booth Keith Hudgens. Remember? Hudgens. I have to apologize, Booth. I have called you Hudgens too many times tonight.
But I corrected him every single time. I corrected him.
Yeah, I apologize. Apologize for that. It's a new league, new drivers. Some of the guys out here I know. Some of the guys out here I don't. You phenomenal race tonight. The only Honda out there. I told them I can't believe they're going to let that Honda win. But you did great. Awesome. People call it blocking skills, but just keeping an eye on the momentum of what lane's coming, what lane's not. You got out there in the high side. You had a lot of the guys near the end of the race that kind of hung with you. Great job tonight. The $100 is going to be yours. The trophy is going to be yours, and I believe he led the most laps, I think, and so that puts you as the points leader too.
Nice. I just out there having fun.
Well, tell us about the final laps, man. Even so. Okay, well, actually, you know what? Here's a question. Not so much about the final laps, but the whole race with the 1X. Is that something you had to get used to? Because most leagues will run super speedways at 2X, or is it better? What's your strategy look like?
At Mondays of Thunder, we run on Sundays and Mondays. We do super speedways at 1X because it gives us more racing that way.
Yeah.
With 2X, you're going to have to pit every 15 to 18 laps, and it really breaks up the field, and it gives us a better show because we can stay too wide for 20, 30 laps instead of just the 15, because once you do green flag stops, that the field really gets separated after that. So I like to have close battling, and I thought it was fun. We had a great race. We had only 12 cautions for Maverick, which is good. We have a Oracle caution section in our Discord at Maverick, and we predict how many cautions are going to be. And most people picked over 13. I picked under 13. We had 12. So I even won there tonight too. I was
very
the champion.
Nice.
I was the champion at that last year too, picking the over/under on cautions. So
the over/under.
I'm back on the leaderboard there. That's just as important to winning Daytona as getting that right to me.
The question I have with that is, are you one of the admins here?
Yeah, but I don't call the cautions.
Ben, I'm just gonna say,
I have nothing to do with it. But that's why I make Ben throw every caution. That way, it's not subjective.
Okay.
I say because it's I picked over. We have 8. I'm gonna hit one real fast. No.
Ben doesn't win it every week. No, come on, no.
No. Ben's trying to do it the right way.
I understand. I get it. I'm just kind of you got to throw that out there. The potential if you're one of the admins there. But
yeah, I don't. That's why I don't throw them. I don't want to have any. People they're going to accuse me of being rigged anyway.
Yeah.
But it's really not rigged.
Yeah, that custom EXE can you can just give nitro boosts to select cars and stuff. You never know with those custom executables.
I don't know if you've watched the race or not, but the worst driver in the field was that 6 car. Did you see that? We're leading the line on the bottom, and we're taking the lead. He goes up and just kills the field for some reason. I don't know what he's doing. Y'all need to talk to him about that next time you're racing. Ask that 6 car what's going through his brain when he's wrecking everybody up front.
Yeah, that was a bad block. Yeah, that was something else because you were throwing great blocks because they worked, and that was just a bad timing on that one. Because what caused that wreck? And we went back and looked at it. I was like, oh no, just quarter second too late, and just hooked the license plates and spun them around.
It's a sad day to see somebody like that on the track,
Yeah.
I'll give you props because I cannot stand super speedway racing. Blaine and I, when we first started doing it, we were for a league, but that's all they ever ran. He goes, "Wouldn't you like to be down there doing that?" I'm like, "No, I'm much happier being up here."
I love super speedway racing. That's probably what I'm best at of anything because it's the most fun to me. Because you can do any of the other racing, I think, offline. But you can't really get the experience super speedway with offline. because the AI do not act like humans, and it's
that is a good way of looking at it too. Yeah.
Running with people on 189 miles an hour, drafting, bumping, and making moves in the draft. There, it's just
Yeah,
I
get
so much to throw out of that.
You try to bump draft the AI, they start brake checking.
Yeah,
I take Martinsville any day. But yeah.
Well, I don't know if we go to Martinsville this year on Maverick schedule or not. I don't remember.
Yeah, he said I talked to Benjamin earlier, and he said it was like later in the season. But yeah, you did.
Yeah, you'll get your wish there. You can watch. Maybe you can do a few laps before you are.
I'll go out and practice there for sure.
Yeah.
Make y'all look bad.
Show us up.
I mean,
how it's done.
I just love racing a short track. I cut my teeth racing for real on short flat tracks around the area.
Nice.
Martinsville Speedway, November 4th here at Maverick. Tune in.
Ooh, that's
race number 22.
I'm going to pick the over on that one for cautions, probably.
Yeah.
Watch it go green
we do
the
have
whole
caution
way.
cooldowns. I don't know if you'll explain caution cooldowns yet to your audience, but next race will have that, which after a few cautions in a row, we'll go 5 laps. No matter what happens, we go green. It's a wild, wild west, buddy. It's so fun.
Oh, cool.
Gets us a green lap in that way.
I like that. That's a good way of putting it. The wild, wild west. Yeah.
Speaking of that, we go to Phoenix soon. I don't know. Maybe the schedule is Phoenix next. I don't know. Maybe it's Atlanta. I can't remember. If y'all got the schedule up, you know where we're going, I guess.
Yep, Phoenix is November 11th, and you said Sonoma?
Eventually, I think.
Yep, 6th of May. Yep, it's on there too. Milwaukee Mile, Pocono, Road America, Daytona again, Rockingham, Indy, all over the place. Kansas, WWTR.
The next Daytona race I think will be really, really fun. There'll be probably more 12 wrecks, I bet. People are going to be moving and more aggressive. Tonight, I was really proud of everybody for being as patient as they were at the beginning. Like as we got to the end, we got some more pushing and bumping and blocking. But like I said, for Maverick race, I don't know if you've ever watched Maverick race, it was a pretty clean race for what the standard is. And I'm just proud for most people for being calm, doing the right things. I mean, there was a few mistakes, but overall, I thought it was a pretty good race.
We called a Sonoma race here at Maverick there a while back, a few months ago. Phenomenal race. And Sonoma, it was a great race. Road courses
usually are better for Maverick because we don't call cautions as much. Even if somebody gets turned, kind of to keep going because you're already kind of out of it then. But I'm not very good at road courses. I hate them. I hate turning right. That's my kryptonite. Just cannot stand them.
Can't do it.
Burn to the ground.
You only like turning right. You only like turning right to get out of your pit stall. That's it, right?
That's it. And sometimes I like being in the front, so I just pull straight. I like getting the poles. I just pull straight. That's the best way to do it. And my wheel won't go right at all.
I like Sonoma, but that's about my only road course that I really like. Road America's not too bad, but
I don't like any of them.
Well, I don't like super speedways, so we got something to disagree upon.
Yeah, we're opposites there.
Yeah. Oh, Blaine, if you ain't got nothing left for him, we will let him give us some shout outs on his sponsors and people that help him out.
Yeah, man, let her rip. The floor is yours. Thank you. Gotta think.
Yep, I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. Appreciate Ben putting on the show for us. Thanks to my family, wife and kids for letting me race. Mondays of Thunder is my main league. That's where we mainly practice our super speedway racing. We get to block and dive and weave and all that kind of fun stuff. And usually it works out. We're pretty aggressive, but we also try to take care of each other. And sometimes we get mad and don't do that too well. But if anybody needs a league to have fun on, Mondays of Thunder is the place to go. Maverick on Tuesday. Tonight, just again, thanks for Purina being on the car. And y'all said that Honda was on this. I was the only Honda in the field tonight. Is that what you said? Nice. Honda goes 1 for 1 with the first. That's cool. Representing. I like the Hondas. Yeah, Purina. All my cats are on the car. I don't know if you saw that. Each of my cats are on the car. You have Junebug, Nacho, and Mr. Kitty are on the car. Those are my actual
cats. That's awesome.
So they were on board tonight getting the win. So
we can't call them a cat lady, but
but yeah, it was pretty fun getting them in there in Victor Lane. I appreciate y'all broadcasting and can't wait to watch it back later, maybe tomorrow.
Well, very cool. There was your winner for tonight, Keith Hudgens. No, Hughes. Sorry about that. You will get that many times tonight. A lot of guys, like the new guys, just trying to get used to it. You know, when the heat of the moment, quick back and forth. But congratulations on your win, and you should be the points leader. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.
Congratulations. There it is.
Yeah, that was a pretty good race, actually.
It's a fantastic race.
Really well. Yeah.
So we're off to Las Vegas Motor Speedway next week, Ben? In honor of your Aunt Robin.
That'll be Vegas should be, depending on the version of it, it'd be a pretty good race. It has some different versions, have different nuances about them. You just gotta, figure out the nuance about the track, and should be a good race for us.
Yeah, Ben's in the room. Are you there, Ben?
Yes, I am.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, next week's at Vegas in honor of your late Aunt Robin?
Yes, it'll be the 1 year anniversary of her death.
Okay. Oh, actually, like the date of the race being the 25th?
Correct.
Oh, wow, okay.
So a lot of pressure going to be falling on this number 7 team and the 27 as well.
Yeah. No, that'll be cool, man. That's Rod was curious, what version of Vegas are we running?
I believe it's the 2018 version. I think we're running the day version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
But
yeah, man.
Should be a good race. I know tonight was definitely a race of attrition.
A lot of work, and it all came to a head, and I think you and everybody pulled it off great, man, with all the qualifying you had to go through to get this field set and a couple of last-minute replacements. The thing was a fantastic event.
We only needed one alternate to
and that was Dorsey?
A car. That was Tate Dorsey replacing Herbert Solomon.
Right. Yeah, I mentioned that on the broadcast. I remember you sent me that note before the race started, so we still had a full 40.
Yep, we would have had a full 40 regardless, because we had a few other alternates in line.
Nice.
But
so there's a winner's purse for this race. Does that happen at every race this season, or is it just because Daytona's the opener?
Just because Daytona's the opener, unless somebody puts money up for another race, which will happen at the other Daytona race later this year.
Okay, what about the champion for the entire season once it's all said and done?
We don't really have a payout for that. The only thing we've done for that has been a trophy.
Cool.
And the winner also gets a trophy tonight.
Yeah, Rod mentioned that too. Yeah, you get the money and then get the trophy, so that's cool. Keith's got some stuff coming in the mail.
Yeah. And thank you to High Voltage Media Productions for putting the payout up. Dylan Living Good, another one of our series admins.
Yeah, that's super cool too, man. Yeah, it was a fun race to call, and 3.5 hours in, I'm gonna have to go to bed. It's almost midnight.
I haven't even had dinner yet, so I'm gonna have to do that quickly after I get off of the TeamSpeak.
I was eating a bowl of soup with like one hand, getting home a little bit later from work today, and trying to get the whole broadcast set and ready to rock. So hopefully we pulled it off. I think it went pretty good.
It went amazing.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to watch it back. I'm going to be watching that back a lot of times.
Awesome, man. Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, we'll let you go for this evening, and then we'll wrap this thing up, and then we'll see you here next Tuesday.
Yep, I will see you at Vegas.
Awesome, we'll be here. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, man. Yeah, thank you to everybody involved tonight. Ben Snyder for hiring Tarnation TV. That's super cool, and what a great way to kick off the season. That cannot complain. I'll throw up the schedule right there on the screen right now. As you can see, March 18th. Well, that was today. Next week we'll see you at Vegas, and then Richmond the week after that. So yeah. What is it? Oh, Richmond, Dover, and then Talladega. So yeah. A lot of variety here this year, and you can see we will go all the way to November 18th calling these races for Ben and his league, the Maverick Cup Series. Thanks to everybody who was watching tonight. You got any final words, Rod?
I'm really surprised. That was a great race tonight. Fun to call. The downside to it is, I apologize to some of the drivers for butchering their names.
Yeah.
We'll get better at that. But
Well, that's the thing.
It was good. It was a great race.
You make a good point with it being surprisingly good race. Usually, race number 1 is kind of nuts because there's a lot of new drivers. You know, you're coming off like an off season, kind of maybe shaking the cobwebs off a bit. But race number 1, everybody comes out and we nailed it. You know, the great show put on by the drivers, and I mean that only helps us put on a great show too. So yeah, thanks to all the drivers, thanks to all the administrators, thanks to people who donated and, you know, contributed to this whole broadcast, everybody who painted those cars. Those things look amazing. And thanks to Rod for helping me co-host.
Absolutely, buddy.
And it's been a slice. So again, thanks for watching Tarnation TV. And if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.